This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, DC and Warner Brothers give the Batman solo film and the Suicide Squad sequel actual release dates and confirm Batfleck is out. Who should don the cowl next? We got a bunch of names. Plus, our spoiler review of Season 2 of Marvel's The Punisher on Netflix. And when you talk about The Punisher, you gotta have the Ginger Geek. Matt Delhauer joins us to geek out about Frank Castle and a whole bunch more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, January 31st, 2019.
All right, let's do it.
Check. Check one. All right. This is really fans out there. Let's give it up. We're talking, we heard it. We're funny, disturbing. We're talking, we heard it. We're spoiler alert. Oh yeah. We're talking, we heard it. We're funny, disturbing. Oh yeah. We're talking, we heard it. We're spoiler alert.
Yeah, what's up, listener? Thanks for joining us this week, and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, your one-stop shop for comic book and superhero, TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name is Anthony.
Oh, well, look who decided to come back from Hawaii. Thank God. I wasn't sure you were sitting there. He's the Jock.
He's the Nerd.
And that fabulous felty in the far corner, well, that's Mr. Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs?
What's up, you jabronis?
What's up, jabroni? So glad to see you here, unfrozen and whatnot. Also joining us on this show is the Ginger Geek himself, Matt of the Delhauers. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys? Do I get to redo my intro 4 times?
No.
Was it 4 times?
And the listener has no clue that ever happened.
Editing.
That intro is perfect for you, Delhauer. Of course, look, Delhauer's here because somehow we're contractually obligated to have him on whenever we talk about the Punisher. Was that in the contract? You must have slipped that in.
Yeah, that was down in the tiny writing at the bottom. It also says I get about 45% of merchandising.
Man, I probably should have read that before I signed it. But look, I love that you love The Punisher, and I'm excited to geek out about The Punisher.
I'm excited to hear his thoughts on The Punisher.
He has excellent...
I haven't officially formulated all my thoughts.
All right, we'll
so
do it,
I might base
it
off. I might be like Imran and just agree and go, yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, no, wait, no, it sucked. Yeah, no, it sucked.
We'll flip you. Well,
it sucked. Oh, yeah, it sucked. 7 out of 10, it sucked.
Anthony, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You came back from Hawaii. You experienced a weather degree shift of 100 degrees.
That's correct.
It was 80 degrees in Hawaii. Here in Siberia, it hit minus 23 at the lowest, the coldest it's ever been here, ever. What was that like?
It was cold. I mean, it was warm, and then it was cold. I don't really know.
How did your balls feel?
They're still shriveled up right now.
My balls was hot.
My skin went from like silky smooth and sun-kissed to now like parchment paper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like me, pretty much all year round.
Basically you.
It's been brutal. I have never been so excited for it to be 0.
Oh, yeah. Once it
Right.
gets up, I mean, we're recording, Thursday the 31st, January.
Yes.
It's going to jump up to 20 tomorrow. And I can't wait to just go, take off my shirt and just frolic.
It's 0 degrees. I'm going to barbecue. I'm breaking the grill out. We're barbecuing. It's fucking 0, people. Rejoice. If you are a new listener, make sure to check out the show notes for this episode at our website, jockandnerd.com/259. We'll have links to everything we talk about, how to get in touch, how to subscribe to the show. So we always come to you for free. And with that, let's get to the news, you bastard.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
We're going to talk. The whole news segment is filled with Warner Brothers DC movie news. So strap in.
Oh, man, the best.
Yes, the best. Right. I know. It's our favorite subject to talk about.
Just going to gush and gush.
We're going to gush. We'll see what we can make of this.
Can I reveal one of these right away? I know what you want to talk about first.
All right, bust it out.
Well, you want to talk about Batman and Affleck, but I got to just talk about the fact I can't find this not funny that the fact that the Suicide Squad sequel is called The Suicide Squad.
Okay, yes.
What the fuck is that?
Let's talk about that. So, I don't know. It's just like they did with the Predator, and then there was The Predator.
Yeah, but at least they made like 3 other films in between.
Yes.
Well, no, and the problem is this is right on the heels of them deciding the new Batman movie is going to be The Batman.
The Batman. So
it's going to be The Flash, The Aquaman, and The Wonder Woman.
Well, they could do.
Sorry to steal your thunder there, Ron, but I
that
had
is
to jump,
funny.
Jump
Someone, I retweeted somebody who's like, "What's the next movie going to be called? A Suicide Squad?" I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty funny. Like, what do you do with that?"
Right,
okay,
now do your thing now.
Here's the spiel, because now that Aquaman has made over $1 billion for Warner Brothers, it is the highest grossing DC movie internationally, worldwide, and past The Dark Knight.
DC's basically like, let's make more movies now and just throw everything on the calendar again.
Yeah, they're like, we should probably announce some dates for some shit. And The Batman finally gets a release date. Now, let's not forget the quick fucked up history of this movie. This is the movie that was announced, in 2015, 2016, reportedly the reason Ben Affleck was going to do Batman vs. Superman, because
he was going to direct it.
And then he was
going to write it, direct it, and star in it.
The whole shebang, and because of that, he did Batman vs. Superman, and then I believe it was February 2017, Affleck drops out as director. Matt Reeves comes on, so now he's not directing it. Shortly after that, they throw out Affleck's script, so now he's not writing it, and I think everyone knew at this point he is not going to be Batman for much longer. So
he's not Batman.
He's what are you? I'm not your Batman. So 2 things happen.
What are you?
Deadline officially confirms Batfleck will not be back. Ben Affleck will not be Batman. They're going to go to a younger Batman. And they've tentatively titled this movie The Batman, coming out June 25th, 2021, which seems like a really far away, weird year.
And they're doing a younger Batman, but not a year 1 Batman.
He's got pubic hair.
He's got pubic hair, but not a lot of they're not gray, and they're not, and
they're dark, dark, and swarthy. Is that a word?
That's a word.
Swarthy?
Swarthy.
But he's still
got thick pubes.
I mean, this could be really exciting, because Reeves has said it's very much a point of view driven noir Batman tale. And it's going to be more Detective Batman, which is great. We haven't seen that.
I like Detective Batman.
Yeah.
But
I like Matt Reeves.
I like Matt Reeves.
Yeah, I like Christopher Reeves. No, and George Reeves. No, I wanted to just comment on this whole Ben Affleck thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I was really excited about Ben Affleck being Batman and directing Batman and writing, because this dude has Oscars in his fucking resume. He's made good movies. He's directed good movies. He's more than just the drunk fat fuck that we got in the Snyderverse. All right. He's more than that. He got a raw deal. So I would have liked to see what they threw out and decided not to do. So you see how bad Warner Brothers is with this shit. Matt Reeves is good. Got some good movies under his belt. Who's going to play Batman? That's going to add so much weight to this. That's going to add, I don't know, if it's going to make it or break it.
Delhauer, let me ask you this. If Ben was left alone to write and direct a movie without any studio interference, would you have wanted to see that? Would it have been good?
The problem is, man, I appreciate Ben Affleck as a writer and as a director. I don't think Ben Affleck can direct himself. He has a real problem with that because he doesn't know that he's not doing well.
Yeah.
So, in the
you
town.
don't like The Town?
I did not like him in The Town.
Oh, I thought he was fine in that.
I enjoyed the movie. I thought he directed it well. The action was very well done. I thought Jeremy Renner did very well in his part, but I thought he was very flat and very uninteresting in his part.
What about Gone Baby Gone? Was he in that? Yeah,
that was Casey.
Oh, that
was Casey Affleck.
You're right. Right.
Having seen him literally almost bored to play this character in Justice League, I'm happy. I thought it was a great Batman in BVS, but they fucked it up, and now I'm out. I don't want to see him as Batman
They pissed
anymore.
him off so much he got pissed at the project.
Well, I think he's smart because he saw what a clusterfuck the studio is, and he doesn't want to be any part of that. I don't blame him.
I agree with Ruggs. I think in BVS, the first few minutes of him, I'm like, oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then that script starts to kind of just fail him.
Yeah.
And then he sees the reaction to it. And then he sees what's happening in Justice League. And you can tell by the end of it, he's just tired and he's just done with it. So it's unfortunate because I think he kind of got a raw deal from the start, not only with the script of BVS, but also the fact that everyone was making fun of this choice when it first came out. Like everyone was like, really? Ben Affleck? Batfleck? What are you doing? And he tried. Like he was like, this is the role that's going to like turn around my career in front of all the, like in terms of like mainstream audiences. Like they're going to forget about Daredevil. They're going to remember me as the Batman. And it all went sideways really quick for him.
Yeah.
It went, I mean, within like a few months, like it all went away.
It wasn't his performance that killed it, though.
Right. That's what I agree with.
I feel like he could have been an amazing Batman. The scene in Batman vs. Superman when he attacks the warehouse that they're holding Martha Kent in
it's amazing.
Is probably one of the most Batman fucking things I've seen on film in a long time. But it is one scene out of a 3-hour movie that is not worthwhile. And of the 2 movies he was in, it was the only thing that I enjoyed seeing him do.
Right.
So I feel like Affleck could have done well. They fucked him at every turn. And ultimately, he's going to be remembered as the fat, uninteresting Batman that was in the shitty Batman movies.
Yes.
You don't. You didn't. You're forgetting the third movie he was in.
Third movie.
He was in Suicide Squad.
Oh, he was in Suicide Squad.
Like, he got to make it out with Margot Robbie.
You didn't enjoy when he jumps on the car with Margot Robbie or confronts Will
Saves
Smith?
her out of the water for like 20 seconds.
Anthony, you're asking me that as if I remember that fucking film.
Y'all forgot that he did do 3 fucking movies.
He did a bunch of moments in that. Did they film a cameo for him for Wonder Woman and cut it, or was that never a thing?
I don't remember that being. They definitely reference him, but they don't.
I was going to say because they have the Wayne Enterprises.
It
like
would have been as Bruce Wayne, if anything.
Her picture or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I don't know.
I thought there was talk that he showed up at one point. I might be just making things up to sound cool. Anyway.
Look, I'm glad we got a resolution finally.
It's plausible.
And we can move on.
Here's the thing about that resolution.
Yeah.
We all knew it was coming.
We knew, but like I wanted some official
It's just closure at this point.
Yeah, and in fact, he tweeted like excited for the new Batman 2021, and everyone took that as confirmation that Affleck's
let's move on. Who do you want to see as a young-ish Batman?
This is
How young are we talking about?
Great question. I would say
I would go late 20s.
Late 20s to mid 30s, definitely.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
I will go 30. I think you could do 30.
I would say mid 30s at its highest.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, mid 30s.
So I got some picks from The Nation, and I got some picks from Screen Rant. They just put an article up. I'll yell out some names. You guys tell me.
For it.
Taron Egerton, Chaz Hebert suggests, if it's a young Batman.
That feels maybe a little too young. He plays off as being like late teens because he's just baby-faced. The kid from Kingsman.
Yeah, the Kingsman kid.
Okay.
I think he's a little too baby-faced.
All right. Jose Ibarra says, I know he's already playing Superman on TV, but I think Tyler Hoechlin would make a great young Batman. That's not bad.
Interesting choice, and it kind of segues into mine, but I'll wait.
So a lot of people, Jason Momoa, Jose Ibarra, a lot of people throwing out Kit Harington.
He's too small.
You
Too
know
small.
nothing. Jon Snow himself.
I would go too. Yeah, Batman needs to be. He doesn't need to be as like big as Ben Affleck got, but he needs to be a little bit physically imposing.
I think in the same vein, Kit Harington's too short.
Right.
You're going up against potentially Cavill still playing Superman.
Yeah.
You can't have Batman standing a head shorter than Superman.
I mean, Keaton was a tiny guy. They put him in lifts, but nowadays you can find a big, decent Jack guy who can.
Keaton was short, but so was everybody else.
Yeah, that's true. Christian Bale is tiny, also, isn't he?
Christian Bale?
Yeah. He's kind of short.
He's about 6 feet.
I think he's 6 feet.
No, he's 6'1". It was Tom Hardy was tiny.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And
They put
made
Tom
him look
Hardy
big.
in lifts, yeah.
Yeah. So, Just Rivera, how about Carl Urban? DC like stealing Marvel
I
guys.
think he's too old.
He's too
A little
old.
too old. We have, Trace Harr. Trace Harr says, I think Michael Fassbender would be a great pick for Bruce
also
Wayne
too
/
old.
Batman.
Too old, I think,
I think
as
he's too old. What
I think these are all. By the way, I think these are all solid picks, but I think we're trying to base this off of what they want.
Okay, so John Bellotti Jr. said Shaquille O'Neal. I like that one.
Great idea.
Mike Zukowski.
Bring him back as Steel.
Yes, Steel versus Batman. Mike Zukowski has a really good one. Matt Bomer. Delhauer, you turned me on to this guy, Matt Bomer. a while ago.
The problem is Matt Bomer is my 100% pick to replace Cavill as Superman.
Oh, so he's a year younger.
He looks just like him.
He does look a lot like him.
He's in Doom Patrol. He's playing Negative Man in Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
He's 40. He's 41. So
my pick is Lee Pace.
Lee Pace is a good pick.
Who played Ronan the Accuser? He's like 6-something, and he was in *Halt and Catch Fire*, and he was like he's got that very deep voice, and he can sound like a rich motherfucker, like Bruce Wayne.
I will give him
Pace.
this much. He's got to do something about those eyebrows.
Yeah, you don't see it as Batman, though.
True, but as Bruce Wayne, that is not a man about town. Not with those fucking eyebrows.
He's gonna have to wax his eyebrows.
I like Lee Pace. He might be already a little too old.
How old is he?
He's
almost 40.
Yeah, he's 39, and looking at him, he has a very older Affleck look to him immediately.
But I would like a guy in that vein where he's super tall, but not like jacked, but like kind of lanky jacked. You know,
still broad-shouldered,
but not like how fucking CrossFit Ben got.
But he's got that deep voice. He just sounds like he's Ronan the Accuser. I mean, he's just fucking. He's intimidating.
I forget what he looks like always because I just see Ronan and you don't see his face.
Right.
Screen Rant has a couple of great picks. Check out this one. What about? We're going to talk about him in a little bit. Ben Barnes.
Who's that?
Who played Billy Russo in The Punisher, and I forgot that he's also in Westworld. Great actor.
I like Ben Barnes.
Ben Barnes.
I don't like him. No. He's tall though.
He is tall.
Delhauer, was that your pick? Did I steal it?
That was my pick. Yes.
I knew it. Sorry to.
What is with all why can't we get an American guy as Batman?
Ben Barnes is American, isn't he?
No,
British.
Ben Barnes is British.
Shit. So why Ben Barnes, Delhauer?
The funny thing is, it's the chin.
Yeah, slap a cowl on that face and you'll know if it works.
And he's got the height to him. I know he would be willing to put on the muscle for it. He's very lanky right now.
Yeah.
But I think he would be able to pull off that Christian Bale kind of build, where he's lanky, but you can tell he's got a lot of muscle behind it.
He could beef up a little.
You need a strong chin like Imran to wear that cowl.
Yeah.
My chin. If I shaved my beard and it was all white, it would just
disappear into your lower jaw, into your teeth, right?
It'd be so bright I couldn't hide in the shadows. Yeah. What about? Okay, so Screen Rant also has Nicholas Hoult, known for playing Beast in the latest X-Men movies.
Nicholas Hoult.
He's a tall dude.
I get the sense that he's a little too pretty.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, I feel the exact opposite.
You don't think
really?
he's pretty
He's
enough?
not pretty enough?
I think he's got a little too much of a Daniel Craig, grizzled attractiveness
Daniel
thing.
Craig is not pretty, but
I get the baby face vibe from him.
So, but you can have a hard and sexy Bruce Wayne and a Batman. This is a hard role because he's got to look pretty and still look good in the cowl. What about Jake Gyllenhaal? We will see as Mysterio.
That was the rumor a while back.
I was going to say that was the one that was running for the longest, but I think Gyllenhaal's too old.
John Hamm, Armie Hammer. We have those guys that have been tossed around forever.
I think Hamm is now getting too old for this too.
Hamm is too old.
Jamie Dornan, who is Christian Grey from the 50 Shades of movies.
That would be a tough fucking sell.
Rough, yeah.
I don't know this guy. I kind of hope they go with an unknown, someone who's done just one or two things. And you don't know
unknown like Zac Efron?
Is it? Well, Zac Efron is not unknown. But okay, here's an unknown. What about Finn Wittrock? He is in. I don't know what he's been in lately. He was in the running for Dick Grayson.
I'm looking
for
him up
a while.
That's not a bad looking guy.
Is Batman too big of a character to risk not putting a name as him?
I think you go the opposite direction. You put a non-name.
I think you do.
I think if you put a rather unknown in it, that gives them the chance to. They walk in without the expectation of their previous work, and it allows them to be able to kind of build a franchise around somebody that they don't have to be paying millions and millions of dollars to yet.
Have we really seen that on the Batmans we've had on screen?
You've had 3 names.
Yeah, you've always had names.
Keaton, who everyone was probably like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Bale, who was a name.
Well, George Clooney, Val Kilmer, those are names.
Val Kilmer. I forgot about those two.
Ben Affleck,
Ben Affleck being
names.
the biggest name.
I think you take a risk, Matt Reeves. Put in a nobody. Here's another one, a guy who's been rumored, Jack O'Connell. who is in 300 Rise of an Empire, and he was in Angela Jolie's Unbroken.
Oh, yeah, he's a good actor. He's in Skins. I remember from that show.
He's kind of skinny in this photo, but again, there's steroids, so you can do steroids.
HGH.
There's HGH. So I don't know. These are a bunch of good names. I'm excited to see this younger Batman and what Matt Reeves does.
One more to throw in.
Okay.
Now this is a long stretch because this would be my choice if they were still running for a little bit of an older Batman. Richard Armitage.
Oh, he's the guy who voiced Logan on the Wolverine podcast.
Yeah. I
don't know what he looks like.
I just threw a picture up in the chat here.
Armitage. He does seem skewed to the little bit older Batman. How old?
Yeah, he's in his 40s. So this would be definitely an older pick.
I think, Anthony, you're right. I think you need someone in the late 20s. What about this Billy Magnuson is Justin Werner's pick. He will be in the Aladdin movie. Young guy. He's got blonde hair, so it's hard to place him.
What about Justin Hartley? He's in Us now, and he was the Green Arrow on Smallville.
Oh, that's where I
he's
remember that
He's a good-looking dude, and he's ripped, right?
And then I also saw Nick Jonas publicly put out he wants to play the Batman, but so probably not that one.
Probably not Nick
Don't
Jonas.
do that one. Also, this announcement, they announced Batman, but they also announced DC Super Pets for May 21st, 2021.
Ugh.
So it's going to be like
a cartoon.
You know what?
I think it's going to be live action. I don't know.
Maybe just to put a last pin on it with this Bill Magnuson kid.
Yeah.
I would be perfectly fine with a blonde Bruce Wayne. But I also feel like, we are going to have people yell at us. Why are we only casting white?
Boy. All the dudes we talked about were white dudes.
And immediately I see Billy Magnuson. Apparently he played Kato Kalin.
Oh, shit.
In the what was it? The American Crime Story.
Oh, he was Kato in that. There you go. So he's already had a superhero role. All right.
All right, sorry, DC Pets.
DC Pets, whatever. It's live action. Crypto and Bat Dog and the other fucking dogs.
Wait a minute, we forgot about one person that we didn't say about playing Batman.
Ooh.
Jason Bateman.
Oh,
we should have Bateman the movie.
Bateman.
The Bateman.
That is
great.
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Need more money.
I don't think Batman's good. Sorry. And then The Suicide Squad coming out August 6th, 2021. And again, the title is hilarious. James Gunn, we knew he was writing, but I think it's confirmed that he's probably directing also. So he has said...
So it should be a lot better.
It should be better. And he said this is not a sequel. It's a relaunch. Gunn's focus is to take the franchise in a new direction with a mostly all new cast of characters and actors. But you're still going to have Margot Robbie and Will Smith, and then you could switch out everybody else.
I mean, Suicide Squad's always been kind of fluid anyways, so.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. And then Zack Snyder and Deborah Snyder will be executive producing, which is also hilarious. So you got James Gunn and now Snyder producing The Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad.
They're just set it apart.
This is the definitive Suicide.
That movie never happened.
That wasn't really Suicide. This is The Suicide Squad.
Listener, let us know if you're excited about these announcements. Who do you want to play Batman? Join us in our awesome Facebook group, the Jock and Nerd Nation. It's an exclusive close group just for you. Gotta welcome a new member this week, Sammy Wells. What's up?
Jock and Nerd.
Thanks for joining. Anthony, I got his questions. I captured it.
Yeah.
I love when I get these. How did you find us? He says, I listened to your podcast. LOL. Very good. What makes you want to join the nation? He said, you keep telling me every podcast to join, and now I remembered. This is why
it works.
You have to repeat things. You have to repeat things. Finally, my favorite question, the best question of the whole thing. Who's your favorite host? He says Anthony because he doesn't care about anything.
Oh, shit.
Anthony.
He does cares about getting laid.
It's that nihilist millennial thing, man. It works for everybody.
Anthony, you got another fan. I love that.
Don't care.
Don't care. Keep not caring. You do you. Keep doing what you do best, Dave, is what I would tell you, Anthony. Just keep doing. Moving on. Did you guys see this 19 seconds Birds of Prey teaser? Birds of Prey and the Emancipation.
I thought it was a Gem and the Holograms movie.
Proclamation of the Nation or whatever the fucking movie's called.
I guess I did.
It's 19 seconds.
You got to slow it down.
And I believe it's made out of camera tests, but it does kind of give you like some personality, some attitude of what this movie's going to be that's coming out like next year. What did you guys think? You did get to see a lot of characters, all the characters in this movie.
Well, like nobody looks like they look in the comic book at all.
No, this is it's a different take.
So like not even the costumes, not like the Black Canary is singing into a microphone. Was she a singer? I don't recall
I think there's a version in some recent book where she is like in a band.
No.
Look, you see Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress real quick, and she's holding up a bow and arrow.
Like a green arrow or something.
Yeah, she's holding up a bow and arrow. You got, Margot Robbie with a crossbow, right? She's got a crossbow pointing at the camera. Margot Robbie with frilly things that look like feathers and shit floating around. You see Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya real quick. You see Cassandra Cain. You see Victor Zsasz, Chris Messina. You see Ewan McGregor, who is going to be Roman Siona's Black Mask, but he has no mask yet. But these are just, quick, fun little camera test photo shoot. I don't know. Delhauer, what'd you make of this?
It sure exists.
What do you think of this kind of marketing? This kind of weird, what I think is smart is they're shooting now. The set photos were going to come out from fucking justjared.com. They're like, hey, let's put a thing out before all these set photos come out and kind of control this. I think that's smart.
Yeah, I think they kind of learned from the leak photos that happened with the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. And the fact that Phillips immediately was like, all right, let's put out some test footage and show everyone shit on our own instead of, waiting.
Thing. Yeah.
In this sense, I mean, I saw Margot Robbie. I could not have told you who anyone else was without looking up screen captures.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very quick. Very quick. Anthony, there's an article on the Hollywood Reporter.
Well, they did this on purpose, obviously, so so the internet and the people would dissect it and become viral,
I think it was successful. There's an article on the Hollywood Reporter, Birds of Prey and the Art of an Anti-Superhero Teaser. Anthony, do you think this is a good anti-superhero teaser? Is it artful enough to get your attention, I guess?
I mean, I thought it was okay. I'm not super into Birds of Prey right now, so anything that they would have teased me with, I don't think it would have hit as hard as it would for someone that's really anticipating this. I mean, I like Margot Robbie. I think she's hot. Every other character, I wasn't nerdy enough about this to slow it down and look. So none of that registered to me other than Margot Robbie looking like she's dressed out of the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's really all I got from it. I wasn't like, this is awesome or this is terrible. I'm just like, all right, cool.
There's a great line in this article saying, should we be wary about these pretty but empty commercials? Is this the Fyre Festival of teasers? And DC's burned us before. This one's gonna be R-rated. Ruggs, I don't think it's R-rated anymore.
I told you it wasn't gonna be.
Yeah.
What does it need to be R-rated for?
Yeah, they're probably gonna do PG-13. I don't know why it would need to be R-rated, but the Joker is going to be R-rated. So it'll be interesting to see what they bring to that. But I don't know. It got me kind of like, oh, look, they're making this movie.
I was always skeptical about the R rating. When you said it, I'm like, really? Why? Like, they're not going to show boobs. Like,
that's a good point. Just for
that
swearing
goes against the girl power
and
thing.
more violence. I think you could do this PG-13.
Yeah.
Moving on, you guys, let me know if you think this is a good way to, write a movie and work on a movie. Speaking of the Joker, Collider has an article explaining that Todd Phillips basically rewrote the Joker while they were shooting it.
Well, that's a good way to get around script approval.
Yes, is that literally speaking to MTV News, Joker star Zazie Beetz said, the script was great. We rewrote the whole thing while we were shooting it. Literally, we would go into Todd's trailer, write the scene for the night, and then do it. During hair and makeup, we'd memorize those lines and then do them, and then we'd reshoot that 3 weeks later. So, look, I've never made a movie, but I would imagine this is either going to be genius or this is going to be this is your train wreck.
It'll be somewhere in the middle.
Delhauer, would you shoot a movie that way? What do you think? Is that it's risky, but it gets exciting?
It's interesting. It could be a real dumpster fire. It feels like Todd Phillips is trying to go all Kubrick on this shit.
Oh yeah,
and he had the clout for that. If this works out, then sure, it means that you pulled it off and you might do that more and more as you go along. But right now, this sounds really, really sketchy. I hope it works.
I hope it works too.
I'll go along with that.
Yeah.
Apparently, like they're gonna have problems in reshoots because River Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix,
Phoenix.
Not River
Because
Phoenix. I don't know
River
why.
Phoenix died in
River
1992.
Phoenix has,
He doesn't like this movie.
No, River Phoenix does not like this movie. Joaquin Phoenix lost a lot of weight to play the pre-Joker Arthur Fleck character, I guess, who's real skinny, and then like beefs up to play Joker. So they're not gonna be able to go back and reshoot anything with Arthur Fleck. But they'll just make it up as they go along.
I mean, unless they have him wearing like baggy sweaters.
Well, I heard that this isn't the legit Joker movie, too.
Oh, it's not actually a Joker movie, even though it's called The Joker.
Yeah.
Every movie is the something, I guess.
I heard
with
that
DC
this
now.
is a...
It's a swerve?
No, I heard that this is a person that inspires the Joker.
Boo. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
doesn't that make it totally shit, if that's the truth?
That would be a very odd twist at the end. That would piss a lot of people off.
That would. Anthony, do you think it'll hurt the quality of this movie? Not writing
Writing
as
it?
you go. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound great to not know what the fuck you're, to be improvising it like that. But I won't immediately. I won't immediately cast down on it. I liked hearing about everything leading up to this point. So
Yeah. No.
Well, look, Joaquin Phoenix is a really talented actor, and they might have had an idea to change things based on what he was doing.
Right.
That was working, maybe.
Yeah.
So it could be a boon. It could be something that works out. So
It could.
Who knows?
And the one thing that I would put into it, and this is heavy speculation, is this is an interesting way to put your actor who is supposed to be playing a very unpredictable character into a mindset where even he doesn't know what he's doing from day to day.
So that's very Kubrick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where Stanley Kubrick would do 100 takes to get to that final, just broken down, almost like robot actor that's just doing what he says and breaks through this thing to get that fucking take he wanted, which is madness.
Yes.
But it gets you good shit, man. This article also notes Mission Impossible Fallout barely had a script when it started filming. So that kind of worked out in their favor. So it's not always a bad thing.
I mean, 80% of that movie is car chases. So
That's true. They just you got to write something in between the
Gotta
action
get
scenes.
the glowy thing.
yeah.
Yeah, get the glowy thing.
Oh wait, no. Now it turns out the guy
boy.
who was a good guy is a bad guy.
Yes.
I just wrote half that movie.
Not to tangent off to Bill Maher, but the glowy thing was actually funny. The rest of it, I don't agree with.
Yeah.
That's all. He's a little bit.
Get the glowy thing.
But the glowy thing, he has got a point with the Marvel movies and the
Yeah,
glowy
too
thing.
many glowy things.
Last thing in the news, let's wrap up the whole DC movie news. Let's find out what our buddy Zack Snyder's been up to. What's he doing?
Snyder Watch.
Snyder Watch 2020.
Talking nerd.
The guy who kind of started and crashed this DCEU had to walk away from Justice League to attend to a family tragedy. Joss Whedon took over. Zack is back, though, and he's doing a zombie movie.
He's made one before.
And he's made a really good one.
Yeah.
It was Night of the Living Dead? What was that
It was
called?
Dawn of the Dead remake.
Dawn of the Dead remake. He is signed on to helm Army of the Dead, a zombie horror thriller for Netflix. Snyder will direct and produce with his partner and wife, Deborah Snyder, via the newly rebranded production company Stone Quarry. So he came up with the story for Army. The adventure is set amid a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, during which a man assembles a group of mercenaries to take the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted. Okay, look, I like that he's doing zombie movies, but I don't understand why you would like rob a casino for money in a zombie outbreak. Like, what wouldn't money just
Why
be?
not?
Like,
Oh my God.
Why would you need money anymore?
No, here's the thing.
It's
Okay,
true.
so I know exactly what he is doing.
What is he doing?
He is making Kelly's Heroes, the Clint Eastwood 70s heist movie,
As a zombie movie.
as a zombie film.
Okay.
Kelly's Heroes was a story about Clint Eastwood's character assembles a group of Allied soldiers during World War II to sneak over enemy lines into Nazi-occupied France
Okay.
to basically rip off a huge, I think, like art and maybe gold cache
Okay.
that the Nazis had left behind.
Wow. Yeah, that's this movie.
And it's this whole
Just
thing
with
where
zombies.
it's like, it's this whole concept of they're going in to steal this money for themselves, and they wind up tricking the Allied army into thinking they're rushing the front lines to take out the Nazis.
Yeah.
And so they use the war as a front to steal gold.
To get the loot. That's awesome. Oh, God, that's
Great.
fucking awesome. Yeah. So they're saying this could be a $90 million budget for this movie. Anthony Snyder has said there are no handcuffs on me at all with this one. Now, do you think he
That's
could...
a bad idea.
This is a good idea. Do you think he can go back to his Dawn of the Dead filmmaking days and make a good zombie movie? But you give this guy $90 million, write, direct, do whatever you want, Zach. I think that's a big
That's a
fuck-up.
big fuck up right there. I don't know if it's a fuck up.
I agree. I don't think so.
I just wanted to play the button.
I don't know if it's like a big fuck up. I know that putting him anywhere near a superhero film at this point is a huge fuck up, especially someone that people care about like Superman or Batman, because it's clear he has a very interesting take on these characters.
Yeah.
A zombie film left to his own devices, I mean, fucking whatever.
Yeah,
Let
like
him do
it's not like it's highbrow shit. Like it's
Right.
not like anybody cares about these characters or anything.
It is-
It's like you do whatever he wants with it.
It is a concept that is just bonkers enough that I want it made.
Okay, this could be fun then. And it's it's Netflix. Give you the Bird Box, give me this fucking Zack Snyder zombie
Give me
movie.
the Adam Sandler movies. Give me all.
Give me
of
the
them.
Adam Sandler movies. I'll watch all this
please.
bullshit.
Make Zack Snyder make this, but his band of mercenaries is all Adam Sandler and his fucking friends.
His
That
cronies.
would be it's the cast of
Oh
grown-ups
my god!
in this movie fighting the zombie
Now
apocalypse.
that would be a movie to watch.
Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, David Spade,
give
fighting
it
zombies.
just Adam Sandler and like all those little sidekicks he brings in every movie.
from every
Rob
movie.
Schneider.
Rob Schneider
yes,
and all those
yes.
Yeah,
other
Rob
guys.
Schneider,
Yes.
Nick Swardson.
Yeah,
David
okay,
Spade.
that crew. I like
yes,
that.
Spade.
Yeah.
I
Chris
like
Rock.
it. And it's a Zack Snyder zombie movie.
And
okay,
then
there you
Kevin
go.
Kevin James is only in the first 5 minutes because he gets eaten because he's the fat guy.
Yeah, he's the fan.
and what's her name? Who's the girl that he always has?
It could be. There's a number of
The
them.
girl from 50 First Dates and
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, she shows
Drew
up.
Barrymore.
She gets eaten by a zombie. She gets eaten by a zombie Adam Sandler.
I like it. Get it done, Zack Snyder. All right, let's take a quick break.
Call me, Snyder. We'll get it written.
We just wrote the movie for you. You're welcome. Send us a check.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back after these promos to geek out about season 2 of The Punisher. Right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Brian
And it's Tony.
from the Salty Language Podcast. Two friends that have been around each other for like 70 years or something, and
We're like a married couple that you hate.
yeah, basically something like that. We talk about, just weird news, stuff that happens in our life, pop culture, really anything. We just have a nice conversation and make up stuff along the way. You can find us at saltylanguage.com.
For sure. And beer you'll be fine.
Well, also, you can find us on dangerentertainment.net.
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
Entertainment.net in case you missed it the first time.
Called The Working Man's Nerdist, Tales from the Fandom is a weekly podcast where David talks with a guest about the fandoms that they love. Whether it's classics like Star Trek, Star Wars and Tolkien, or new ones like Game of Thrones or Harry Potter. Anime, books, TV shows, movies, role-playing, video games, cosplay and more are discussed. Each episode is different based on the guest. No fandom is too big or too small. Subscribe to Tales from the Fandom and join in on the fun.
Listener, if you're a big fan of the show, join our fan club. Visit jogginer.com/Patreon, where you can support the show and get bonus content. Here is a testimonial. This is one of our listeners. This is what they think of the fan club.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
I agree. I
I
agree.
think I know who they are.
They're absolutely correct. It is fucking awesome. Those guys are.
Those guys sound hot.
Now, first off, I'm going to call bullshit. Anthony is not a listener.
That wasn't Anthony.
He doesn't listen to the show ever.
Yeah, not even. He actually listened to the last show. To his credit, I was very surprised.
Oh, really?
Good
did.
for you, Anthony. Wow.
I didn't listen to the whole show, but I listened
God
to you
damn it.
guys talking about Glass.
Oh, okay.
I stopped after you guys were like debating about Black Panther and It being Oscar nominated, I'm like, I'm done with this.
I'm out.
I'm out. Let me listen to what I really wanted to listen to.
Well, if you join the fan club, you will get access to a bonus podcast feed. Oh, yeah.
Geek Boner.
A whole other feed full of whole episodes, instant reactions, bonus content, a weekly, semi-weekly sports show called Jock Talk with Anthony and Chaz.
Their bottom is very weak.
And there's a new Jock Talk this week, Anthony. What are you guys talking?
Well, we got the Super Bowl, which is today, if you're listening when the show comes out.
It will be the day the show posts. Well, let's get right to it. Who is the Jock's pick for the big game?
Patriots.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Are you not going with the underdog?
Come on, Imran. What is with you, really? Like, you even give a fuck?
I don't.
Even Imran, even I am sitting here just shaking my head at you.
Really?
Really?
Is that right? You're like as if you were invested in this.
I would just want to see Brady lose.
Yes, that's
everyone
what I want
would.
to see.
But
Yes.
the problem is,
not gonna happen.
this is where they always shine. They're going to 5-yard pass it all the way, the whole damn time, and they're going to walk away with it.
Anyone excited for Maroon 5 then? Let me ask you this.
No.
It's them and what? Wiz Khalifa, right?
Yeah, there's like a couple other people.
Oh,
but
man.
it's gotta be great.
2010, Matt, would have been fucking so pumped for this.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, lately they've been doing better, but they always choose acts that are so. It's like, why they're not? You're so late.
They are very late to the game. I mean, but like when Prince played, that was amazing. But yeah, he could have
When
played a
was
lot
that?
sooner. That was mid 2000s, I guess.
Ever since the
Nipplegate?
yeah, Nipplegate, they've just been always late.
I think that was after Nipplegate, also the Prince. But the last
Yeah,
one,
well, directly after Nipplegate, they went like old
real safe
people all the time.
Yes. But the last one I really loved was fucking Prince playing Purple Rain in the rain. Was fucking amazing.
Who was last year?
I don't even remember.
Well, doesn't matter.
Ariana Grande, maybe was it? I don't know.
No.
I know 2 years ago it was Lady Gaga. I don't remember who it was last
Well,
year.
we should be getting a new Avengers spot, people.
Geek Boner.
Yeah?
It's been confirmed. Marvel and Universal will
Justin
have
Timberlake was last year.
trailers. Oh, it was
He was
JTC.
pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah, because he had his weird shirt
yeah,
with
he
the
had that-
fucking
yes.
deer on it.
He was dressed like a dad or a hunter or something. I remember.
That's how cool guys dress.
Is that how the cool
Yeah,
dress
you
is
get
then?
the memo.
Man.
Making up for Nipplegate, Justin Timberlake.
When you're JT, dude, you can wear whatever the fuck you want.
That's right.
That's
That's right.
absolutely true.
So let me talk to Sammy Wells, our listener who just joined the Facebook group. Sammy, this sounds right up your alley because your favorite host is Anthony. And on the Patreon feed, there is more Anthony.
Bro, do you even
Unfortunately.
podcast?
Tons more Anthony.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the Anthony you can get.
you
Some people
want
can't. Some people can't handle that much Anthony.
That's a lot. So make sure you've had enough to drink and you're sitting
All right.
down.
First
Yeah.
thing is
Before you do
you have
this.
to relax the throat.
Relax the throat.
Oh shit.
Preferably if you were just on your knees, that would be the best
Hopefully
way
you
to
don't
handle
have a
handle
gag
this much
reflex.
Anthony. Yeah.
Yeah. But Sammy Wells, there's more Anthony. Sign up, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Let's get to season 2 of Marvel's The Punisher on Netflix. Here's your spoiler alert.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
Still not canceled
Oh shit.
yet as we
Give
record.
it another 2 weeks.
It's been out for 2 weeks. I think you're right. They usually wait about a month.
It was
They
Daredevil
have
got
been.
announced almost exactly a month after it released.
Yeah.
Wow.
So possibly the last or second to last series of Marvel shows on the Netflix. We may or may not still get a Jessica Jones season 3.
Oh no, we will. They were filming it. They're not going to just can it.
So if they're making it, we might see it later this week. But
Later this week.
I mean, later this year.
Jesus
this month.
Christ.
Later
Learn
this
to speak.
show.
It's out.
If you're gonna fucking host, speak correctly, motherfucker.
Well, some of you can help me out once in a while.
No, because then you start coughing. We've gone over this.
But I can mute the mic when I cough, and then
Like,
you just have to.
But you don't. You just
bullshit.
fucking choose to
No,
start
I know.
coughing in the
Yes.
mic.
I have a disorder. Isagoguafia. Is that
Yeah,
what-
you're fucking
isagoguafia.
starved for attention. We get it.
That's what it is. That's exactly. You should be a
Pussy.
doctor. Delhauer should be a doctor. Where's the pussy? Yeah, pussy. Okay, look. Let's just start with Delhauer. You love the Punisher.
Are you not going to read off anything? No stats or nothing?
No stats.
You
Fuck
got
it.
nothing because it's on Netflix, you fuck.
It's on Netflix. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any money. We don't know how many ratings they get. They don't tell you. There's Rotten Tomatoes, but who the fuck cares?
I'll
in
tell
for
you the one
Brenthal.
stat I know.
Okay, what's that?
Netflix has announced that they definitely had a drop in viewership between seasons 2 and 1 and 2.
That is correct. 40% down, but it wasn't as big as the other shows, as Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Daredevil. But I'm surprised that I felt like there wasn't a lot of buzz for this season. It's just that, it released.
Netflix wasn't really pumping this either.
No, they weren't.
It just kind of showed up.
Yeah. Delhauer, start us off. What'd you think after finishing the 13th episode season? What's going through your head?
I still definitely enjoyed myself as I went through it, but I will say that I definitely felt season 2 was weaker than 1.
Okay.
And honestly, I feel like I don't want to dive into anything really detailed yet until we get to further on in the likes and dislikes. But I would say good, not as good.
Okay, good opening thoughts there, Ruggs. Can you add on? What'd you think?
Well, I enjoyed a lot of aspects of this, but there was, I think as I got to the end of it, I thought it was very odd, some of the choices that they made. So out of the gate, I was all in.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is a different direction. This could be cool. And they got him back in New York and all that shit. And I was like, oh, this could be interesting. And then I felt like they didn't really capitalize on it. So I was kind of like in. And then towards the end, I was like, still in, but like not just, okay, I'm already on the ride. I might as well finish it,
Yeah. I'm very similar. Anthony, have you had time to formulate your thoughts yet? What opening thoughts?
Yes. The start of the show till now is enough time.
I think that's plenty of time.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I liked the show overall. I liked it mostly because John Bernthal is a fucking Terminator.
Yes, he is.
He's great. I will agree that I didn't think it was as good as the first season, and I was in throughout the entire show. I enjoyed watching it, most of which I watched on the plane to and from Hawaii. So about 10 episodes of this was on a iPhone 8, which is always an interesting way to watch something.
How is that with people like next to you and they can kind of see what you're watching and there's some fucking violent shit? How is that?
I had to very much mute my visceral reactions to some of that violence.
Just stand up and be like, oh shit.
Because I wanted to be like, oh man. And I was like, oh, people are sleeping.
There were a lot of moments watching this where I just in the middle of watching it fucking damn.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed I actually enjoyed the violence. I enjoyed that it's closer, if not already or if not the Punisher. He is basically, at this point, you're seeing what the Punisher would be like.
Yeah.
Much more so than the first season, where that was more of a personal thing.
Yeah.
Looking back on the show, even throughout, I was like, there's something, like some of these things I didn't particularly like as much as probably they would have wanted. I didn't like, or I was not that I'm not saying I didn't like, but I wasn't fully on board with the direction they took with Jigsaw, and the dueling two-front war that he was fighting never really connected for me.
Yeah,
in the way that I wanted to, and a lot of the new characters for me I didn't like as much.
Yeah,
as maybe the first season. So. I can get more detailed later, but it was solid. But looking back and even throughout, I was like, I don't agree with all of the decisions they made, and I don't agree with, or I didn't like the cast as much as I liked the first season's cast.
Okay, I mean, I'm a lot of the same. Overall, I really did enjoy it. I was entertained. It held me. I thought it started really strong. Amazing first 4 episodes, like my favorite. Like the first 4 episodes, I like better than season 1. But then what they do with the remaining back half of the season makes me not like it as much as season 1, because it kind of gets a little muddy and a little, like you guys said, weird decisions. There's 2 running plots, and by episode 4, you're like, all right, how are these things going to connect, intertwine? And they don't really do. One just kind of interrupts the other one. But the violence, the action was amazing. I had same visceral reactions as first season, where there was some shit, like, you just call me a pussy, Anthony, and it's very accurate, because there was some shit I couldn't watch because I was thinking about what it felt like, and I was like, no. Oh, don't do that to this. How can that's gotta fucking hurt.
They definitely amped that up.
Yeah, it made me uncomfortable, which I always like when a show or a movie can physically make you uncomfortable. That is a successful thing, but it has a lot of issues. But if this is his swan song, I'm okay with it. I think it ended with good closure, seeing as how it's probably going to get canceled very soon. So, what do we like? Where do you want to start? What part of these cast performances?
I think you got to start with Bernthal again.
Yeah, Bernthal is amazing in this role. He is brutal.
Yeah. I mean, he is, I guess, the best they're going to get, unless you get Frank Grillo. I mean,
Crossbones Frank Grillo.
That guy is the Punisher.
Yeah.
There is no that he just walks and talks. Now, Bernthal is a good close second. You could tell that he's acting the character sometimes. Like, I don't really think he is the character. I think he's like putting on the performance, but he does a good enough job that like he sells it enough. So I'm down with Bernthal. Pretty much. The only thing is he seems too approachable. He seems like he's too soft in some of these scenes.
So this is a Punisher with heart, Delhauer. Does that make him any less Punisher?
It's an odd gray area, honestly, because the thing is I don't mind the idea of developing the character more so that he is more of a person.
Right.
But I think the biggest issue that I had with it, like the idea of him caring about Amy and wanting to look after her, and the way that they were playing that into sort of him making her like a proxy daughter.
I love that
he never
relationship.
got to really have that relationship with his kids.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly fine with. I really like the way that they went with that. But the problem that I had mostly was just I didn't need nearly as much of a personal storyline this time.
For Frank,
yeah. Like, I didn't need his motivations to be tied to his family again.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and a little. I mean, there is a little bit of that feel.
It kind of feels like it's still his origin is like still going.
I mean, it's more of like I didn't feel like it was his origin. I felt like it was. So I felt like the first season was his redemption story.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is how it's like a revenge story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is more or less like his origin Punisher story, if that makes any sense.
Well,
it's just like what happens is that at the beginning of this, he's clearly taking a chance, rolling the dice with this woman.
Yeah.
All right, which they never go back to, which is, I guess he can't.
But I love seeing him happy for a second.
All right. So he's about to kind of take a chance, and all of a sudden something, comes and interrupts it, and then he's back into it. And his idea is, all right, when these people come fuck with me, I have to like kill them now.
Yeah.
Until they're all dead.
Yeah.
And then that way I can go on with my life. And that's cool, but like I would think that Frank Castle, the Punisher, would be more methodical about it.
Yeah.
And go about it as more of a mission instead of being so reactionary most of the time.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
understand
point.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he would be fucking drawing up fucking maps and shit,
Well,
and
and
fucking doing all this stuff.
This is why the first 3 episodes of this season are I was so excited where they were going
They're
with it.
so good. They're so good.
The fact that he dives into it headfirst immediately, he doesn't even think about the fact that he is doing so because this is who Frank is. He's going to get involved when he thinks shit's not going the way it should be.
He's going to do the right thing.
It winds up biting him in the ass, but then even though he doesn't know what's going on or who these people are, he's already creating scenarios where he is going to be in control of the situation. The whole shootout at the motel, where he is taking a second room, breaking a fucking hole in the wall between the two of them,
baller.
so that he can get the drop on people that are coming for them.
Yeah.
That's the fucking Punisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of lose it.
And that's the problem, is I feel like the biggest downfall this season had was going back to anything from season 1.
Yeah.
The Jigsaw storyline, going back to Madani, all of that shit didn't need to happen.
I was really intrigued with John Pilgrim and the whole up to the shootout in the sheriff's office.
Going fucking Precinct 13 on the sheriff's office in the middle of
fucking
Ohio was brilliant.
That
was
one
awesome.
episode alone, just if you don't watch this season, just watch that one episode. It's fantastic.
That's where I think it gets derailed, is they bring back Jigsaw, and they don't even bring him back at a level like he's a distraction now at this point for
he's not
Punisher.
even a bad guy.
But
what is he?
But he's they made an interesting choice in making him forget everything. I was like, oh, this could be interesting. But then the more it played out, the more I'm just like, I don't want this. I want Jigsaw to be like, I want him to be
Jigsaw
changed in a way that makes him insane, like crazy, insane compared to the Punisher.
The thing that really let me down was the trailer that they put out for this season heavily hinted at the idea that Jigsaw was going to be hired by Pilgrim to work as a mercenary to take out Punisher.
That's what I was waiting for. Some way to tie those fucking two plots together, and it never happened.
Immediately, my thought was, if you're going to have this whole concept where they're going to bring Billy back in, he's going to get hired as basically the Punisher of the Punisher to tie into this storyline. That's great. No, the Pilgrim storyline and all the shit with Amy just disappears for 7 episodes.
And the payoff isn't even that great when you find out Pilgrim was there. His kids were being held hostage.
The thing too is, like, by having Jigsaw at the level where, or Russo at this level where he doesn't remember the Punisher, it's almost unsatisfactory when they meet and they fight, because even at the point where he's torturing Frank, he's doing it, but there's not that added level of he knows what happened before. Like, he doesn't know what happened before.
Why is he doing this?
It's not even that, like, why is he doing it? It's just like, this isn't as high stakes as it could be because he's forgotten everything. And even at the end, like, spoiler alert, Punisher kills him pretty unceremoniously, which is fine. You know, he doesn't need to go out in an epic death. But the fact that he looks at Punisher and is just like, I love you. Like, it's just like, but you don't really, like,
he never fully remembered.
Like, the audience knows what happened this entire time. If you're up to this point in the season, you know what happened in the first season. So to have the character that on screen not knowing what happened is kind of just frustrating,
and not understand why Frank was coming after him.
The issue is, like, an interview that Ben Barnes did, they had said a big reason they went for this, not as an excuse, because I agree, I feel like it was a really poor choice, was they were going for this whole idea of, in Billy's mind, he is Frank from the first season.
Right.
Where his whole thing is, I don't understand why this person I thought was my brother betrayed me and tried to kill me.
Right, which is kind of an interesting angle.
And it's interesting, but it didn't work at all. The problem was, and this is the thing that really upset me about the Jigsaw angle, was they were trying way too hard to give Punisher his Joker.
Right.
Oh,
but he never, like, that's the problem though with this angle, is he's not mad enough at Frank for it to mean anything, but he's not crazy enough either for that to mean anything. So he's just this broken shell of a man that really, you can't follow what his motivations are.
He's not seeking revenge, but he's also not reveling in chaos.
Right.
He's
just there.
He's
broken.
Yeah, he's this weird mishmash of a selfish, violent person who, when he finds out, everything that I had that I don't remember having anyway was taken away by someone I thought I was friends with, there's no real motivation there.
It would have been so much better if he would have gotten up out of and really been fucked up looking. Remembered everything. And then gone about his business and trying to build his empire with these fucking guys and doing his own team. And then he hears that Frank's in town. And he's like, I can fuck this guy up now. Finally, I can get my revenge.
Like, I don't even know what the point of his gang was. Like, they appear out of nowhere. It's a bunch of military.
Ex-military.
It's all ex-military vets that decide we're gonna get ours. And then suddenly they're like a huge fucking organized crime unit that's running around in mil-spec gear.
I kind of like
came out of nowhere.
The gang. They came out of nowhere.
You know what the worst part about that is, in my opinion, is there again all these vets that felt like they were, shunned by the world, and didn't, and are like, we need to take over. Like we've been fucked over by the system, and they've forgotten about us. The problem is, the season 1 did that with Lewis's character, and he was way fucking better than any of those vets or Billy Russo in this season.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Lewis's
he was
character,
fucking crazy.
Yeah, his character, his arc, everything that they did with him served a purpose. It had a lesson that was behind it and a story to tell. Everything that they did with Billy and his gang was just like fluff. Right. In order to be like, look at how bad these guys are. You're not going to feel bad when Frank kills them.
I wouldn't have gone into bank robberies either. I would have been like, he knows about organized crime. He should be taking out the organized crime.
He should be hitting like the poker games and the backdoor casinos.
He should have been
or drug dealers,
taking out all the drug lords. But he should have been like carving them up, like hanging arms and legs from chandeliers.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my God, look at this version of the Punisher. This is what happens when you take crazy and make him the Punisher.
What I would love is if they had gone with the idea of his face is fucked up. It's Dominic West from Warzone looking.
Yeah.
He remembers everything. He remembers that Frank did this to him, and he knows that Frank got away with it and ran off. So he escapes the hospital. He decides, I'm going to bring Frank back to New York because he has to deal with me. So then he's going around, and whether it's organized crime or it's cops or whoever, he is just sending messages of, people, hanging from their feet with their faces, peeled off or some shit. And just and carving the fucking skull into their chest or something to just say, you got to come deal with this because this is your fault.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. I would like the whole show. 2 more points for me on Billy Russo. The whole show I was waiting for him to remember.
Yeah.
He never remembers.
Never happens. Yeah.
The second thing is, and I agree with Delhauer, and I think we've mentioned this before, but his whole thing in the first season was he was Billy the Beaut, and he was so into how he looked and all this image and all that. And Frank fucks him up because he wants him to look in the mirror and be like, remember my shit. Remember what I fucking did.
Though. He's
and
still pretty.
You got the scars on, but he's still a good looking dude.
Yeah.
And he's still
will
getting
bang
a
it.
pretty
Yeah.
She's crazy, but he's still getting a good looking girl. So it's
yes, he is.
this didn't
With
fuck him up
scars.
that bad.
That character ruined the whole
So let's
show.
talk
hated that
about the Dr. Krista Dumont
She was
and
so
the
bad.
Billy Russo. I thought it was weird when they started with the vertigo, afraid of heights. I was like, what the fuck? Where is this going?
I didn't even understand. I thought she was like a metahuman at first. I was like,
Oh, really?
What is going on here?
I
she had powers.
I thought she was tripping balls.
No, I thought she had she was afraid of heights and her vertigo was setting in.
Yeah.
But I was like, why? And then look, they explain it. It's pretty fucked up and traumatic that her dad, when she was a kid, grabbed her and jumped out the window to kill them both.
And you know what's great about that? I don't give a shit.
Nobody
Yeah.
cares. I will say their sex was pretty hot.
Geek boner.
Oh my
The
God.
paid sex, I could see why they would connect. But wow, what a dumb fucking
No, see,
doctor.
I don't
Every
see-
decision she made was just stupid.
I don't see how she becomes a doctor.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
Not only that, not only was she bad, but her presence on the show makes what's her name, Madani, even worse. Worse. Madani was a solid addition in the first season.
Yeah.
She went off the rails with this.
Yeah, but Madani was really bad in my opinion in this show. And the minute she opens up to this doctor and the doctor gets the jump on Frank, I'm like, Madani, oh my God. And
You're
then
so dumb.
They make Madani so depowered that she's fighting this doctor like a fucking cat girl. They're both.
How are you not taking down this doctor?
You're Homeland Security. You should have taken this doctor down in one
she's a
punch.
civilian.
And they're
She doesn't-
choking each other like women.
Yes.
It was like
Crazy.
watching WWE Raw in 1999 with the
bit.
divas
Yeah.
fighting.
Yeah.
You are federal level law enforcement.
You know how to
have
take a person
some
down.
form of
Jesus.
military training.
Yeah.
You the fact that she walks in and she is walking down the hallway with her gun out.
She knows that someone's
She's
gonna
like,
do something.
she's like, oh,
What are you doing?
obviously something's wrong here. I have to go check on it. She gets all the way down to the bathroom. Girl jumps out of the corner from another room. Why did you not check your fucking corners?
Yeah, she's
Right.
not good.
Like,
And then-
That's the thing. It's her
bad
presence.
writing.
Her
Yeah.
presence was supposed to be like the equal to Madani, and it's just
Right.
like, oh my God, you just really fucked over Madani.
And the problem I have with it is I feel like the only reason Madani is even in this season
She shouldn't be.
is they wanted yet another person to have a PTSD storyline.
yeah, she
And
is
it's
that.
like,
She is that person.
Look, no,
Yeah.
we
They're
had it.
overdoing that.
We already
Yeah.
did it in the first season. I did
Yeah,
a fucking
yeah,
episode
yeah.
about it for myself. It's over. We're done with it.
The only thing that would have saved Madani for me is if she was the one that killed. What's her name? What's his name? Billy Russo.
Well, she technically kind of did.
She
put
kind
the
of
three
did, but-
bullets in him that let him.
But
that,
it would
that
have
got
been.
him.
It would have what I would have done is I would have had Punisher fucking whip his ass.
Yeah.
Punisher gets arrested at the last minute before he's about to kill him. So they're taking him away. They're doing it by the book, and Madani fucking shoots the fucker in the head.
I mean, I kind of agree. And I think they were kind of wanted her to get the kill.
I mean,
but
she
then
loses the badge at the end
Yeah,
because she
yeah.
quits. But that was the road she's going down. It's like she was the clean cop, and now by the end of it, she should have been.
She's like Frank almost.
She should have been like mini Frank.
Yeah. And did they really need to show the doctor getting thrown out the window in such a overtly like, what was the point of showing us that shot from the bottom with the glass falling? I was like, really?
No, it's
what?
It's not great.
Yeah.
No.
It's not great. I mean, what this all was taking away from was the fact that what's his face dude in season 2, the Mennonite,
John Pilgrim.
He was actually the more interesting character because he is actually Frank's. He's
Frank's equal.
He's Frank's equal in every single way.
He just went the other way.
Except he's got an interesting twist in that he was, a neo-Nazi now turned super religious and feeling like he's doing this for the right reasons, not because like Frank does it because he thinks this is the right thing to do and he enjoys it.
Yeah.
This guy's doing it because it's to serve God.
While spouting Bible verses.
It's this interesting idea of how when Frank helps Amy in the beginning and Pilgrim is watching the security camera footage of it, he refers to Frank as being somebody's dog.
Oh, yeah.
Because he sees that Frank is exactly what he is.
Yeah.
It's, this is a man that I immediately know who he is and how he operates. The problem is that Frank is on his own. He calls his own shots.
Yeah.
Right.
Pilgrim literally is somebody's attack dog.
And the people that own him, they weren't menacing at all.
No.
I would have liked
Corbin
them to
Burnson?
be.
You mean Corbin Burnson?
Yeah, I mean, I would have
menacing?
liked. You see them in like playing golf. It's like, it's
the
like
truth is, I actually appreciate that more because I really like the subtle idea of it being what they do is disgusting, but you never truly see it in who they are as people because they don't think they're doing wrong.
But that's not what I think is wrong. I think that the fact that Pilgrim would want to serve them, like they don't feel like either they're superior morally than they don't. They're obviously morally flawed. I'm trying to figure out what it is that they have over him.
I think what it
They
was
had his kids.
No, not even that. They were paying for his wife's chemo.
Oh, right. That's right. And then she does it. She does die while he's away.
I agree with Ruggs in that there wasn't enough time spent with the Schultzes and to get to know why they have a control over Pilgrim and why like the end scene of them getting killed even means anything, because we don't spend enough time on that storyline for us to be like, oh, this is like these people deserve their comeuppance, or look how manipulative these people are. They fucking changed John Pilgrim and made him a religious maniac.
No, and I agree. It's they are the interesting story. The two of them, the senator's son, Pilgrim. That is the story I want to know. I want more. I want to see what this is going to turn out to be.
If they didn't have to do 13 episodes, this would have made it a great 8-episode arc.
It's tying into shit where it's the Russians are paying to own a senator. It's like this shit.
Families,
this is the shit we need to know about. But now, no, we're gonna go do fucking more than half the season with this bullshit personal vendetta.
Like literally,
he should have been doing a piss video with a hooker.
Yes,
instead of being gay.
Well, that would have been better. The storyline, well, even him being gay and like that, how that affects politics, I thought would have been a very interesting thing to explore.
Because it would have been this wonderful idea of how like him being gay isn't the problem; it's he's gay and a Republican or something.
Right.
But then the question would be, why would Frank want to continue to help Amy? Why would Amy even hang around and not run on him?
Frank, I mean, he does it because this is what he
kind of missed it.
What it plays into. There's, I think, one of the stories that they're really kind of playing off of for Frank in this is there's an arc that Garth Ennis did several years back called Slavers.
Okay.
And it's this whole story of one night Frank comes across a woman who has just shot and killed 2 people in an alleyway. And when he finds her, she begs him to help her. And he finds out that she is a sex slave that escaped from this huge sex ring that's running out of New York.
I remember this, yes.
And the whole concept is this has nothing to do with Frank. It's nothing tied to him. But the moment he finds out that this is going on, because he's the Punisher, he decides they're all going to die then.
Yeah.
And that's his mission. He's now set off to go take care of this because somebody crossed his path and they needed help.
You know, that would be like a great.
Well, he's just looking for people to kill.
Yeah, he's looking for people to kill. That would
people that are bad enough.
Because people,
That's
you
all.
know, we always debated can the Punisher be a successful TV show series? And I saw this question online. I'll ask you guys: do you think this season proves that the Punisher could work as a series had they, just focused on the John Pilgrim thing and it was that version?
I think if you just do the Punisher like he's been written for years,
yes, that's worked fine.
It works great.
Yeah, it is a series.
Punisher's just, he's somewhere in some place and then all of a sudden he gets a whiff of something he doesn't like.
Yes. This is why I really enjoyed the beginning, because for once it wasn't his fault. He literally stumbles into this, but you could see he enjoys it, that he was like, give me a reason to
moment
fucking
that got me
beat you
so
down.
excited in the first episode is when he goes walking back into that bathroom knowing that she's about to get attacked.
Yeah.
And he walks in and they turn around and they're basically like, they're brandishing knives and they're basically like, better fucking walk away, man. This has nothing to do with you. And he doesn't even say anything. He takes his belt off and he wraps it around his forearm.
His fist is awesome.
Because he knows, all right, it's time for some shit.
She's got a knife, and I'm going to fucking protect it with this. I love anytime this move we saw in Mission Impossible Fallout, and they do it in this episode. Anytime you take a guy's head, slam it against the sink, and it just snaps the sink in half. I don't know why. I love that. It's so
there
satisfying.
were a couple violent moments where I was like, oh my God, that's fucking awesome. Yet, oh my God, this is really gross.
Let's point out some of our favorite moments these.
The first one was in the beginning when first off, he's punching women, which I really enjoyed.
But he's just taking them down like if they were men.
And that's the thing. It's because they're military.
They're gonna kill him.
They are military trained, and he knows in a fight, I have to.
Yeah.
Well, I like that he stabs the woman up against the bathroom stall and then knocks her out. That was fucking awesome.
He pins her up with the knife right through the shoulder.
I also was really hoping the one woman that he runs into like 3 times.
Yeah.
Every time he runs up against her, she winds up getting knocked out. I really wanted that to be a running gag throughout the whole fucking season.
He just keeps waking up.
That's true.
The scene where the Russian scene, that's actually Keith Jardine that he's fighting, who's a UFC fighter, former UFC fighter.
In the gym scene.
The gym scene where he beats the guy's face with a plate.
That's great.
Let's talk. Yeah.
I'm so happy about the fact that is, in a way, a very subtle nod to the Welcome Back Frank comic, because it's Frank versus, quote-unquote, the Russian.
Right.
Oh, dude, let's talk about that scene for a second, because now, having done the CrossFit, I know exactly how much all that shit weighs. When I saw him pick up the kettlebell to the face, I was like, oh fuck.
The fact that he whips around the Olympic bar into some dude's fucking nuts.
Those bars are 45 pounds. There's 35-pound bars too, and probably that's a prop one, but generally, that's a 45-pound bar. Now, when he fucked that dude's face up with the little small 20-pound, 5-pound plate, that's when I started getting uncomfortable, like physically uncomfortable. This guy's face was just completely changed. It was so fucking violent.
Yeah.
Glorious.
It was so violent.
So violent. I love the trailer. The fight in the trailer was really good with Curtis and John Pilgrim, like just fighting in that enclosed, tight space. They did that well.
No, honestly, the junkyard fight between him and Pilgrim.
Oh yeah,
the one they're whipping chains at each other, and he's hitting them with the fucking scuba tank.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I was surprised Pilgrim was that strong. I was like, how is this dude taking all this?
See, and that's the thing is the reason that they do the whole, like, because there's a point where you wonder, like, why are we doing this weird backstory with Pilgrim where he's going to visit the neo-Nazis?
Yeah,
that's the whole point. Is it shows you in that fight that he has with the neo-Nazis in the bar. That's the moment where you go, oh, he's Frank.
Yeah, he's Frank.
But then he goes, he does some drugs and gets a hooker.
He gets a BJ and like quotes scripture at the same time.
Yeah,
this one is like this show is like the most sexually explicit I've seen any of these shows.
I think it was surprising. Only paling maybe in comparison to the first season of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But
I was at some points I was just like, oh my God, how does he take all this punishment? But it's the Punisher. He keeps fucking ticking. Like
did you see that?
Stop.
He was on Jimmy Kimmel. Bernthal broke his hand during filming the first fight scene on the first day of shooting. And so he really had and then he didn't tell anyone for like a day or two.
The fucking cast was actually real?
Yes.
Then
he had to go in for surgery because he didn't want to tell anyone, and it was getting smashed around and it got worse and he had to have surgery. So he really had a fucking broken hand the whole the whole time he was shooting this thing. It's still, but he's badass. How badass is that?
Yeah,
Bernthal's fucking badass. I love the sheriff's office because I love the way Frank turns them to trusting him. And I thought that was really well written. What I love about it
is he doesn't even have to turn them. He just has to get the sheriff to believe him.
Yes, because he knows they're going to follow him. And the whole time you're like, dude, you better listen to him. You know bad shit's coming, and it was a great scene. But then literally the next episode, Agent Madani shows up to interrupt all of this, take him to New York where they're hanging out in her apartment for like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of moments where you check in with characters who are literally waiting while the other character is doing stuff, and they're waiting for them to come back.
It's all of Frank's friends who are just sitting around waiting for him to like, hey, did you kill Billy yet? No, not yet. Cool,
Where's
I'll
Frank?
be here.
Yeah, I'll be in the trailer.
That's so weird.
What the fuck? Let's talk about some other characters I loved. Curtis, I thought was great. I love Curtis.
He was fine.
Curtis got a lot of justice this season.
Agent Mahoney.
I feel bad for his girlfriend.
Curtis's girlfriend. Oh yeah, Brett Mahoney. Let's talk about Brett Mahoney.
Sweet boy.
I don't understand why, after being in like the Defenders and Daredevil, like why doesn't he just assume the Punisher is doing some good shit because he's seen this kind of crazy vigilante stuff.
Because here's the problem.
I like
with
Curtis
the Avengers and Daredevil and all that stuff. They're still giving cops the collar.
Oh.
It's I beat the dude up. He's tied up in the alley. Go arrest him. I believe in the system.
Yeah.
The Punisher is I put a fucking bullet in him because I think that you're incompetent.
Judge, jury, and executioner. Yeah, you guys.
He goes a little too far for them. Yeah, absolutely.
Who, Punisher?
Yeah.
Well, that's his deal.
That's his.
They can't allow that.
Curtis was great. What do we think of the?
I thought Curtis was good.
Yeah.
What do we think of what?
Karen Page, one episode.
Why are we
Karen
talking about
Page.
the little girl?
Well, let's talk about Amy.
So let me.
Yes,
Karen Page is such a small part that I don't even think she's worth discussing.
Okay,
honestly, but
let's talk about Amy.
Who's
this?
I did not like Amy
at all. And
maybe towards the end, I thought she was a little better, but I was like, this girl's a little punk. I know that the Punisher has to help her, but I did not like her. And I'll be honest, I know we all liked that first episode. Half of that first episode, a lot of it because of her, I felt was terrible because it felt like weird, like bad TV sitcom. Up until he starts getting going, I was like, this is terrible. Like this, like, I did not like it. I felt like for some reason it felt like it was shot really poorly up until they started fighting.
It was a different flavor.
Well, you know what the thing that they went wrong with is that they tried to build all this mystery about what she was, and she was just a kid with fucking photos.
I know. I thought it was.
And it ends up being so fucking lame.
They built the mystery well, which is why I was digging her. I thought she got better, but I was like, I want to know what the fuck this is. What did she really do? And she just kind of stumbled. She just happened to go out for food while everyone else got killed and doesn't even know what the fuck's going on anyways.
The thing I found really odd about her character.
Yeah.
I didn't like her.
Is she's being hunted by John Pilgrim. He's this really weird, super violent priest, essentially. Or at least he dresses like one, he seems like one, he apparently isn't. He's just really, really godly or something. Throughout the entire season, Amy goes out of her way to not swear. She says things like when the one cop in the hospital tries to kill Frank, she refers to him as a mother scratcher.
Yeah, I noticed that.
She says something about how they're going to HELL with themselves. Like it's to a point where I was starting to wonder, like, is she part of this weird, like, overly religious community that he's from?
Yeah.
So I thought it was like a cult angle for the longest time, and it wasn't. And I don't know why they did that with her character because it never paid off.
I liked her and Frank. I like seeing Frank care for someone, and like the heartbreaking moment at the end where he's like, sometimes somebody comes along and changes things.
I was fine with her in a lot of aspects. I understand that they were trying to build mystery in the first episode, and I knew, okay, she's in trouble and she's trying to fake tough or whatever, so I was fine with it. I wish, like we were saying, I wish that they just followed her story instead of throwing her on the back burner.
Yeah, I think that's the big problem is she's such a punk in the beginning. I'm like, just fucking tell Frank what's going on. This is just annoying for me. I know you're trying to be like Dollar said. I know you're trying to be ambiguous, but it's just you're making me not like you. And then by the time like it's starting to roll around what's happening, we take a break from her for so fucking long.
Yeah, you forget.
And like, I don't understand, but like, she's like 16, right?
Yeah.
And there's like multiple episodes or references to her, like her sexuality. I'm just like, what is this? Like, what? I know there was a pervert in the beginning, but I was like, what are we?
I was rooting for him to shoot that fucking pervert pedophile dude, and it was, I don't know, it was surprising that she stopped him.
The thing that I found weird, because like as they go on, there's the point where, you know, the two of them are working together when he's trying to catch the Russian dude, where she pretends to be the waitress and then immediately is like hiding among the Catholic schoolgirls and everything.
That shit was amazing.
And
I
really
scene.
dug it. I dug the idea that it was like he's essentially grooming her to like help him in his mission.
She does the nurse bit in the hospital to sneak in too very well.
But it's like this grifter aspect of hers is interesting, but it's not around enough to be worthwhile.
Yeah.
It feels like she's far too, like, because in the first couple of episodes, she's lying through her teeth about everything, and nobody believes her ever.
Right.
No.
But then out of nowhere, suddenly she's like super good at being like a grifter.
She could look things up on the internet.
I just wish we'd have learned like why did she get to that point where she's now running away with children and bribe? Like,
you never find out.
Like I was expecting that episode. Where you get her origin.
What even is this group of kids who are going out and like taking photos for bribes for somebody?
Yeah, that was unclear and confusing.
But
let me just say this: I did enjoy though that Frank's way of like teaching her thing or like showing her love is to show her how to disarm a gun and like shoot somebody and just like fucking yelling at her and like tossing her on the floor and putting a gun to her and be like, you do that again, I'll kill you.
That was fucking great. And another amazing moment when you see it
that's the only
happen.
way you should be interacting with him.
Well, that's the thing is you recognize that is very Frank in the fact that he fucked up with Billy.
Yeah.
So the moment he comes back and she's trying to have like this we're bonding moment, he's like, fucking kid, I could have fucking killed you. What is wrong with you? You're a moron. You're going to die. And you're like, oh crap. All right. The thing that I thought was really interesting was the way that, again, the promise at the beginning of the season was after everything went down in the first episode, the second episode, he literally is kidnapping this girl.
I mean, where he ties her up to the bed.
He zip ties her to the bed. He won't let her leave. Like all of this. And it's to a point where like you think to yourself, like, all right, I kind of get it, but fuck Frank, like, what are we doing here?
I mean, I think it was the only thing. I think it was smart.
I like
the only
that,
thing
that
you
it was
could
ambiguous
do. You had
like
to,
that.
yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is it's because you know Frank enough that you recognize what he's trying to do is he's like, you're kind of an idiot, you're going to run off, you're going to get yourself killed, I need to know what I'm getting into, and you're not helping me, and I don't know how to, like, work with people.
Like, that's his way of keeping her safe. And
but at the same time, it's like, to anybody on the outside, man, you're fucking kidnapping a teenage girl, we need to figure out a new path here.
I mean, I love the callback, like, when he shows her how to disarm someone, and then he tells her, like, if this happens, you pull the trigger.
Yeah.
You do not hesitate. And she fucking does it. And then where she's like, I killed a person. And he's like, no, he didn't. He takes a shot. He's like, I killed him. Let's go. It's like, it's fucking great.
No,
it
was you just shot him. I killed him.
Yeah, you shot him. I killed him. Trying to make, like, that's his way of making her feel better in the midst of this fucked up situation. So there were Frank and Amy moments that I really loved.
Yeah, there's moments to it that were great. Just the overall pieces where they just didn't fit properly.
No, I don't know why they had to
shove
the Billy Russo. Like, you could have had 2 great 6-episode seasons.
Yeah.
Instead of shoving it
together. And the truth is, you could have had a pretty solid 10-episode season about Amy, Pilgrim, the Schultzes, all of that.
Yeah.
And I would, and it would have been phenomenal.
Both plots would a separate would have been great.
I enjoyed Curtis being back, looking at like the first season.
Yeah,
because he's like an actual good guy.
Yeah,
just gets caught up trying to do the right thing, as he says it. I did not like Madani in this season at all. And this season really made me miss his relationship with Micro.
Madani's involvement in all of this is so confusing because it's this whole thing of she's going through the PTSD about Billy. She visits him in the hospital every day because she wants to watch him suffer. But the moment she decides she's going to call in Frank because she wants Frank to kill him,
right?
She immediately is like, all right, I need Frank to do this. And then when she starts witnessing like the way Frank does his work, she can't fucking hang. Like the scene where they're in the apartment with the army kid who's hanging out with Billy, And Frank's doing his thing. He's beating the shit out of him. He stabs him in the hand, and he's twisting the knife, demanding answers. And she's like, "Oh God, oh no, stop it! You can't do this." It's like, no. You don't let him off the leash and then decide that he can't do what he does.
You're the one who got him. That was another scene that made me physically uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was
like tough when he's torturing the dude.
Yes, I was like, pull the knife out. I wanted them to just pull the knife out so bad. Like they left that in so long, it fucking made me ill.
I just thought of something that kind of pulled me out of it, which is that whole thing where Frank goes in, he raids Jigsaw's lair, and then Jigsaw sets him up to think that he shot these people.
Yeah.
And I don't...
okay, yes.
I didn't buy that for a second.
No. And
I was like, this is so bad. This is such bad writing.
Especially because when Madani and Karen go down and they check on the bodies in the morgue,
yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, the powder burns on them. You would have had to shoot them from like 10 feet away.
Frank figured that out right away.
Well, not even that Frank would have figured it out.
Police would have figured it out.
Yeah. It's not even that Frank would have figured it out. I fully buy the idea that Frank would have had a fucking mental break if he thought he killed, like, innocents.
Yeah.
But yes, if this is a thing that the coroner notices immediately,
nobody else notices.
The cops will notice immediately.
Yes.
Now, granted, when they found him, he was standing in the room with them, so they would have been like, oh, maybe he did it.
Sure.
But it's like, Billy would have fucking known this. Yeah, he collected the shells from when he shot them, but he would have known how forensics works then if he thought that far ahead.
So there wouldn't have been any shells in the room, right?
Exactly.
Well, the thing is,
because he was outside.
Yeah, going like another level on that. That whole setup is so strange because how does Billy know that Frank is even going to survive this torture?
Yeah, it's totally contrived.
It's like he thought it out so well that Frank would eventually get out.
He was going to get
be
here,
able to kill the men, and then get up there and shoot those women.
And if he knew that, it means granted, okay, I will go with the idea that he is willingly going to send all these men to get fucking murdered.
Right.
But it's like, what is even the point of trying to slow him down with my guys are going to kill you if the whole point is to get him into this room where he's going to think he killed these women?
Right.
Plus, why would he think that he wouldn't just follow him up the stairs instead of blindly just shoot
the
at
next part for me on that is, okay, so you do it. Okay, and now you've added something to Frank's character. Now he's killed innocents, and he has to deal with this.
Yeah. We didn't really
But he deals with it for like 15 minutes.
Before they figure it out.
And then you Deus Ex Machina it right out of the thing. So instead of it being like the next layer in his development of becoming the Punisher, where he realizes, I can be fucking crazy, but I got to be a little bit more careful not to kill innocents, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, if it was something where he had to then realize, like, I can't go into rage mode, I have to be on point always, would have been fine. And then towards the end, have like, oh no, we pulled the forensics, it turns out you didn't kill those women. Then it's like, okay, great, we can cheer for Frank again because he didn't wind up murdering these innocents.
And now he can let loose.
And he's like, okay, great, that means, when I find Billy or whoever, I can go fucking, ape on his ass.
That is better writing than what we were given.
We should have let him deal with it for a longer than 20 minutes of an episode.
Yeah, and I hated the idea that immediately they just put him in the point where it's like, oh, I killed these women and I let myself go. I just want to die. Just fucking kill me. It's like, no, dude, you're past this shit.
Yeah.
Like, you grow and fucking accept your goddamn responsibilities.
And if anything, like, he should be able to at least get over that, because it has been told to us in season 1 that he was just basically an assassin and killing people that he probably shouldn't have killed.
Yes.
Doesn't he kill Zubair?
Yeah, he wasn't he the one.
He was the one that pulled the trigger on him.
Yeah,
and I get the idea of it being like, ever since that he has this code of like, no, I have to know who it is that I'm pointing the gun at. But if that's true, then he wouldn't be the fucking rage monster that he's been for 2 seasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Great Easter egg in that scene. The cop who comes in and tries to frame him and kill him. He's like, you killed my cousin. Frank kills his cousin in Daredevil season 2 when he guns down the Irish mob.
He's part of the Irish mob.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, that's that guy. So they were tying it together. I like some of the stuff they tied together, but some forced tying together.
I will say Easter egg, not really an Easter egg, but something I was really glad to see again.
Yeah.
Turk.
Yes,
Oh,
I forgot.
Turk
Let's
is
mention
insanely always
Turk.
funny.
We see Turk and his bong shop. Now, Turk is now the only one, after Claire Temple has left, the only one who's in every season, I believe.
That bong
of
shop
these shows.
is from Luke Cage season 2.
Yes, where,
Yeah, that's right.
Remember
That's
Danny's
where-
like,
It's
I
his
like
head
this one.
shop where he quote unquote went legit.
He's trying to go legit.
That's where Danny's like, I like this bong. It's the dragon one. Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like you smoke. It's so fucking great. And then finally, I think the most fan servicey thing of the whole thing was the very last shot. It was almost a little cheesy, but it was great. It was great.
It was it was a little over the top.
But come on, you see Bernthal with the coat and the Punisher with 2 machine guns, and he just, hey, you want to dance? And
It was
just
straight out
fucking
of
shooting.
Punisher Warzone and the way they
Oh,
shot
yeah,
that.
it
You know
was.
what? I don't mind the Ray Stevens Warzone callback. I like that shit.
It looked so weird. Like, was he just on a green screen? Because it looked very odd the way
I
they
don't
shot
know.
it.
Why wouldn't they just shoot it there? Maybe it was a green screen.
I wonder if it was like a last minute add on when
So
they were
let's
filming.
rate it, rank it. We kind of
Well,
already said
I got
what we thought.
one last thing I want to touch on.
Yeah.
So, there was a conversation that we had on The Nation about a week ago. Sean Glancy put up a thing where he had said that he was very uneasy about this season and kind of the show in general, and felt that he didn't feel like it was the Punisher because he felt he
wanted to
never
bring this up
actually
too.
punishes
I'm
anybody.
glad you brought this up. Yes.
One of the things I wanted to touch on with that is there are a lot of moments in this show where it feels like he is kind of reacting to things that are happening, and that's where a lot of the violence comes from. But I think the last things that he does in both seasons are the most Punisher-esque things that he does. And I don't mean the whole him taking out the 2 rival gangs or whatever.
Yeah.
When he goes to visit the Schultz.
Okay.
Yeah, he shows up there.
Yeah.
When he shows up and he has Amy show up, and it's this whole moment where
that was great.
He kind of had a plan.
Yeah.
It didn't really go to fruition. Yeah. So he winds up shooting Mrs. Schultz immediately.
Yeah. That's great.
The ultimatum that he gives him, where he hands him a gun, 1 bullet, and says, either you kill yourself or you live with the fact that I will expose you and everything you are to everyone.
A fucking great moment.
Is the most Frank Castle thing I have seen.
That is definitely very Frank Castle Punisher.
Let me add to that.
Yeah.
Even before that, when he captures the senator's son, or the senator who is the son of the Schultzes, I'm like, that's Frank right there.
Yeah.
Like Frank would not give a fuck, and he would assume, okay, you're an asshole. I'm getting you. You're my hostage now because you're a fucking prick for letting all this happen.
Beat you until you answer my question.
What I love of it is the fact that first he takes him because he thinks he's involved in it. But then when he realizes he's not involved in it, he sees the opportunity of, I just got to step ahead of everybody. Because if they're gunning after me, they won't fucking touch me if they think I'll kill their son.
Yeah.
And I'm the Punisher. Why wouldn't I kill their son?
Yeah.
Right.
Like that, yeah.
There's some great symbology in that when after he shoots Mrs. Schultz and the blood is slowly pouring across the table to her husband, and you see wine, bread, and blood. Kind of a Christianity symbolism there, and I love that kind of subtle touches. In that whole moment, I'm like, shit, what would you do? You're thinking about the decision, and then you hear the gunshot from the inside, and then Pilgrim is there with his kids, and I was like that part kind of wrapped up nice. It's just the stuff before that, it didn't really make it. It could have been way more impactful if we actually cared about the Schultzes or saw more about them, I guess. Right on. Okay, so we kind of said let's rate it, rank it amongst the series. I think we already said it's not better than the first season.
No. It's just that you don't. There's not that emotional hook. Like the revenge storyline, even though it was kind of a retread of the first.
A little bit.
The Madani cat fight took it down so many notches.
So where does this land in terms of best seasons on Netflix? We have the great Daredevils, we have the great Jessica Jones, we have a great first season of Luke Cage. Where are you putting this?
So, I guess I'll start. Okay. There's tiers, right? So, Daredevil's season 1 and 3, and Jessica Jones season 1 to me are your top level Netflix.
Okay, all right.
And then you're gonna go next, Punisher, Daredevil, maybe Jessica Jones season 2, and maybe a Luke Cage season 2. I think Punisher season 2 lives amongst that. Maybe towards the bottom, maybe a Luke Cage season 2.
Okay.
So that's where I would kind of rank it, and everything else is below that.
Yeah, I like that. I would kind of.
It's in the middle, but it's more it's closer to the bottom than it is
middle bottom.
Yeah, middle bottom.
What do you think, guys? Anybody else got to put it anywhere else?
I'm trying to think of my own like tier rating for a lot of this stuff.
Well, while you're thinking of that, I think the reason it's still good is because John Bernthal as the Punisher is very entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
And the creativity in like, okay, let's put him in a hotel room. Okay, let's put him in a
he's in Michigan.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying let's put him in a hotel room. Let's put him in a weightlifting room. Let's put him in. Let's see how he fights in all these different situations. Let's give him guns. Okay, let's give him nothing. Okay, let's give him. Let's put him in a dark room.
I was going to say it just reminded me the gunfight between him and Pilgrim in the hotel between the two rooms where they're constantly swapping the rooms and everything.
Oh yeah, they flipped it. And
it was like the most ridiculous thing, but it was also just like I loved it because it was another one of those moments where it's they are so evenly matched. The only way it changes is when Frank says "fuck it" and busts through the wall.
They perforate the wall, and he's like, "Fuck this," and that was great. Yeah, there's a lot of great moments, and it has again the beginning, incredible beginning.
I did not like that at all.
You don't like that?
Like,
I love that. Anytime you go through the wall,
shooting each other through the walls and missing all the time.
Yep.
Oh my god. The first 15 shots, okay, I was like, oh, it's cute, but then they kept
both
going.
should have been dead.
Well, I will admit, once it got to the point where he's hiding behind the armoire that the TV is
and
in,
the bullets aren't going through that.
He's shooting through it, but Frank's not getting hurt. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I was gonna say the part where he's hiding behind the mattress,
and
they're
that one too
they're
long.
shooing through the wall, but then the mattress is gonna protect him. I'm like,
but it's not going through the mattress. Okay,
all right.
Yeah, they milked that one way too long.
So where do you guys rank it?
Yeah,
all right.
else?
So I agree with Anthony that this all kind of breaks down. I put it into 3 tiers. So top tier, gold tier, Netflix Marvel is first and third seasons of Daredevil.
Okay.
First season of Jessica Jones.
Okay.
And for me, first season of Punisher.
All right.
Yeah.
Second tier, both seasons of Luke Cage.
Okay.
Second season of Iron Fist. And this season of Punisher.
All right.
Okay.
And then bottom is Jessica Jones 2. Iron Fist 1 and Defenders.
Not too far from what I would say. But
that's interesting. Ruggs, what you got? Any difference in that tier?
Oh, I can't think about all these shows. In the range.
It's a lot to think of. I think both of your guys' ranks are pretty good, though.
I would just say I like this a little bit. It's tied with Luke Cage season 2 for me.
I think that's fair.
They were both batshit. They were both batshit crazy. But I think that this one's a slightly, with that Madani fight, I felt it went into some weird area.
Yeah.
And it took a toll on this whole season. And the fact that the easiest thing they could have done is just make Jigsaw. Just make him actually Jigsaw instead of this weenie whiny.
He had a Jigsaw mask.
Bad,
he had the mask. And I didn't even like the one guy makes a crack about Jigsaw. He was like, Jigsaw over here, and then he gets shot later. And
what I think is interesting is as they go further on, and he creates his whole gang and everything, and they're all wearing these fucking black and white masks.
Yeah.
Everybody in the gang gets a fucking ballistic mask that's formed around the face and all that stuff. So it's opposing, and he's still wearing his fucking paper kabuki mask from the hospital.
It's because it's who he is on the inside.
But before you get into your ranking, I had one more thought.
Yeah,
I really don't understand why Netflix doesn't go all out when it comes to some of their comic book characters. This isn't Jigsaw was another
they think they're making it grounded.
Well, another example of them trying to ground the comic book characters, and I'm like, but this one you didn't even need to ground. You just fuck up his face.
It's
people have fucked up faces.
People have fucked up faces after war.
It's like when Fox did the first X-Men movies, where they put everybody in the black leather and everything because they were just so afraid that if they went all out, people were going to be like, "This is ridiculous," and not watch it.
Yeah. Right. They're afraid to embrace. But
they'll watch a fucking bitch fight.
Yeah.
Where with a fucking the head of Homeland Security can't fight.
Like a psychologist.
Yeah, where she's getting overpowered by a fucking psychiatrist.
Which is crazy. Look, she was a crazy psychiatrist. All right. She had scars. She went through some shit.
All I'm saying is I don't need another fucking Harley Quinn. And especially not in my Punisher show.
Oh boy, that's a little bit of what it was. Where would I rank it? Kind
That's
of
a good
right,
point.
like right in the middle-ish for me. I don't know. I can't even think about all the shows, but I will agree. I love Daredevil seasons 1 and 3, the best. The first season of Punisher is up there. The first season of Jessica Jones is up there. I love both seasons of Luke Cage. And then maybe
love everything.
I do love everything. So it's irrelevant where I rank it. Anyways, okay. Last question: on-screen Punisher versus Punisher. Who wins? I'm talking about
which version?
Dolph Lundgren versus Tom Jane versus Ray Stevenson versus Bernthal. Who wins?
Ray Stevenson.
I agree. Also, Ray Stevenson would fucking
I'd have
like
to
the
rewatch
floor.
Warzone.
He punched through a man's head.
Okay, that's fair.
Stevenson, he can hang on a chandelier
That's fair.
and spin and shoot.
They made him so superhuman.
Yes.
It is, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Ray, I mean, we got to spend 20 plus hours with Bernthal, so
I like
he's-
Bernthal the best, but
Yeah.
it's also unfair because we spent, like you said, 20 hours.
20,
with him.
yeah. But if it had to come down to just brutality, Ray Stevenson Punisher fucking
Still think
wins.
Frank Grillo is the greatest Punisher in the Purge movies.
Let's see Frank Grillo as Batman or Punisher.
And the other thing that I have always felt is the first John Wick movie is the greatest Punisher film that was never made.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Also, you know what's another great Punisher movie? Falling Down with Michael Douglas. You ever seen that?
Oh, no.
It is. That's not at all.
No?
Man on Fire.
Man on
Man on Fire, yeah.
Okay, that one. I
Falling
guess
Down is literally
the
white
opposite.
privilege the movie.
Yeah. I love that movie, though. It's a fucking great movie. Man on Fire is a great Punisher movie. There's a lot of great Punisher movies like that out there. All right, good stuff. Good review. Excited. It'll probably be canceled by the time I post this show. It's time, people.
It's time for news from the nation.
It's time for news from the nation. That is satisfying.
That's my butthole.
News from the nation, the section where I pull stuff from our Facebook group. Justin Zwerner posted this comment and this photo. He said, had to go to Metro PCS today. Left them a gift on one of the phones. Hope they enjoy it as much as I do. And it's a photo of a display phone. And he's pulled up the Jock and Nerd podcast.
Jock and Nerd.
So everyone walking by, this is great. I love this. This is guerrilla marketing. Everyone do this next time you're at the iPhone store or you're at one of the 12 cell phone stores in the mall or at the kiosk. They're everywhere.
Great idea.
It's a
goes in
great
the mall?
idea. I don't know, but the last time I went to a mall, there was literally 4 cell phone stores across from each other, and in the middle of the aisle, there was 2 cell phone kiosks. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why it's nothing but
People need phones, I
it's
guess.
nothing but cell phone stores these days. But even at the Best Buy, they got computers. Pull up the website, jockandnerd.com. Pull it up. I love it. Well done. Brian Goff has a legitimate question. This is a great question. He asked, did Tony go to or attempt to go to the Fyre Festival?
Shit.
Legit question. I'm watching the doc on Netflix and was just wondering. First of all, both docs on Netflix and Hulu are great.
Oh, yeah. They are
They're
fucking
amazing.
ridiculous.
Okay, I've watched both. I want to go both. I like the Netflix one for me
It's
is
better.
really good.
It's
The
a little
Hulu
bit
one
better.
for me goes on these weird tangents about like influencers and millennials, and it's like this is kind of
The
strange.
thing I find interesting for both of them is that the Netflix one really digs into the events that went down for Fyre Festival and the people who were affected by it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The Hulu one is more aimed at the idea of shedding light on who Billy McFarland is, how he essentially
fooled
created
everyone.
an empire out of fraud,
Out of nothing.
and all of the people who actually benefited from his fraud. And why they should also be held accountable.
Right.
Also, what's interesting
also,
about
the
the-
Hulu one has Billy
Has
McFarland
Billy
on there.
McFarland, this piece of shit, compulsive liar, con artist, is in, and he's there because they probably paid him shit ton of money,
did
needed
pay him.
money, and he doesn't say anything. He doesn't admit to anything. The piece
The
of shit.
thing I find interesting is apparently Netflix came out and said that they approached Billy McFarland to be in theirs as well. And he told them, well, Hulu paid me $250,000 to
Holy
be in
shit.
theirs.
Holy shit!
But I'll accept $125,000 from you to be in yours.
And they're like, "Go fuck
And
yourself."
Netflix said no. And he goes, okay, what about $100,000? He said, fuck no.
Oh my god!
So then apparently the director of the Hulu one came out and said, we certainly did not pay him $250,000.
No, he
we
lied
are
about
not
that, too.
willing to disclose how much we paid him, but we all know that this man is a compulsive liar.
Yes,
Why would you ever believe him when he's trying to swindle you out of your money?
Look, you learn a lot of great things.
Well, let me do a quick. So I'll answer the question.
Yes.
So Fyre Festival, for those, because I actually don't know if our audience would follow Fyre Festival.
Break it down.
I only knew about it when it finally happened.
Okay, yeah. So it's basically the next Coachella, the next big music festival, but the next big destination music festival. They were going to do it in the Bahamas. This guy, him and Ja Rule, concept of this thing where they bought Pablo Escobar's private island.
Yeah.
You were going to go to this island, that you were going to party with models and celebrities and have gourmet chefs there, and it was like to the nines, like over the top experience.
Everybody was going to have their own villa.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so it was over the top, and then it was also going to be a music festival on the Bahamas for 2 weekends. So
and how much were tickets for this thing?
So that was overblown, Imran. So there's a lot of reports about 10,000. Most of these people paid like $300-$400, and then,
really?
Yeah, that was overblown.
I thought it was a few grand at least.
There were people that paid that, but there were majority of festival tickets in general are GA tickets that are like $400 or $500.
Oh, that's right. They mentioned the general admission
What
tickets.
it boiled down to was there was the general admission tickets. Then on top of that was you could be paying even more to get your own private villa. You could be getting VIP access to a lot of stuff. And then there was them having people funneling money into the wristbands that they were going to be purchasing while there because they wanted it to be a cash-free environment.
So the whole concept of that happens. They set up, and this was all to launch. It was all actually to launch an app, which is the Fyre app, which was basically talent booking of celebrities.
Yeah.
They obviously did not have enough time, nor the experience, nor the wherewithal to pull something like this off.
They're good at throwing parties, though.
And it was a epic failure that will be talked about for a long time.
And that company Magnesis is also amazing. That idea of this black credit card.
Yeah, I mean, let people watch it, but that's the gist of what happened.
I don't need to watch this movie because from being from New York City, I've met so many quote unquote producers or
event planners,
quote unquote promoters that lie like this and are full of shit.
Yeah, and
I've already lived this.
It's amazing how many people will fall for it and give them money.
Here's the thing: me and Imran had talked about this off. They was like, "How did this many people fall for it?"
Yeah.
Well, here's how they fell for it. They had models promoting this.
Yeah.
People putting their name on this.
Yeah.
You also had legit acts. This wasn't like Joe Schmo and his like garage band. They had Blink-182.
Yeah.
They had Major Lazer. They had Disclosure. They had acts that were very popular putting their names to this.
And it sounds great when you sell it.
Yes.
Right?
Well, but it wasn't that they sold, like these acts committed to it. They had their names on it. The thing is, they didn't pull out till the day before.
Dude, the genius thing about what the thing you learn is like, if you want to learn how to market something in social media, huge, like you kind of learn that it's the illusion of what you're showing. Really, that's all you got to do. Also, you just need to pay Kendall Jenner $250,000 for one Instagram post, and everything will blow up right from there.
This changed everything. So now that's why you see when models post things on Instagram, if it's an endorsement, they have to put paid by X, they have to put endorsed by or whatever. They have to note that they're actually endorsing
advertisement, right? This influencer marketing, which is huge now. It makes me throw up in my mouth when I say those words because it's just fucking dumb. But this is the way people are using social media now.
It's no different than putting a celeb in a commercial.
Sure. Well, yeah. he just did it.
But to answer Brian's question, I did not. I did not attend Fyre Festival. I had no intention of attending.
Yeah.
I was aware of it.
Yeah.
There were like little so I remember there being mini Fyre Festival concerts around all of the U.S.
Oh yeah.
And what they would do is, I was like, it was building up to Fyre Fest, and what they would do is, for $100, you buy a Fyre Festival concert ticket leading up to Fyre Festival.
Yeah.
You don't know who the artist is.
Oh.
So you would just show up, and they were guaranteeing like an awesome artist.
Yeah.
I almost bought a $100 ticket without even knowing who the artist was because I was so hyped about this. Was that shit
legit? Were they legit artists?
I didn't go, so I don't. I don't remember if they even had a concert or not.
So I remember finding out about this is when the picture of the cheese sandwich went viral. I remember when that happened, and I was like, and I had kind of been following this because Anthony, you had got me into it when it was happening. You're like, check this. I was like, this looks like a disaster. And then they show you the fucking cheese sandwich in the FEMA tents, and you're like, oh. And I was making fun of all the millennials. I still think it's funny now after watching it. I feel a little bit bad, but it's still fucking hilarious after watching the documentaries. I mean, nobody like got raped or died or overdosed. They were just stuck on a fucking island and in FEMA tents, really. And then
I mean, it wasn't, it's not the worst thing in the world to happen.
Right.
It is funny in hindsight. I will say that, like, if you were there, like that had to have been a nightmare because when the lights
sucked.
When the lights go down and you realize, oh my god, these people don't know what they're doing, and we're stuck
just
on an island with no way to get off, with no power. That's kind of scary.
It's a big island, though.
The one thing I remember from the Hulu documentary that was this great moment because it makes you just have that cathartic, like, fuck you feeling towards some of the people that got involved with this was one of the quote unquote Instagram influencers who had like been promoting it and was going to go to the thing. They're talking to her and she is the most uppity fucking rich white girl.
When she's on the plane?
When she's on the plane talking about how she's back in like triple economy class or whatever, and this isn't a private jet.
She's like, this isn't private.
But then it's also when they're talking about, everyone gets there and it's they're rolling in on the bus and it's FEMA tents that are set up. And she's like, I know, I felt, she was like, it was awful. And he was like, well,
the reaction is
didn't
great.
you get an actual house though? And it immediately cuts to cell phone footage she took on her phone of being like, look at this villa. And she's like, it cuts back to the interview. She goes, well, yeah, but like when I heard what was going on with everyone in the tents, like that was awful. Oh, smash cuts again to her and her friends drinking and dancing in their villa house to like loud fucking music. And it's like, I hate you.
There's details in both of them that aren't in the other one. So like, if you're really into this, I would watch both of them.
I would watch both of them.
Absolutely.
But the Netflix one though is better. There was one more thing I saw on the internet where it was like the dude. There was one dude that was like. The had the best time at Fyre Festival, and his like whole story was, I got like these free tickets to Fyre Festival, so I was like, I'll take a free trip to the Bahamas. He's like, and he was like this middle class guy. He's like, I loved going there and seeing all these uppity rich white people freaking out because their luggage was slightly mishandled, roughly, and they were a bit dehydrated. He's like, this was the greatest thing ever.
That's exactly it. And you
fuck those guys.
You feel bad for the workers, the Bahamian workers who didn't get
there's
paid.
a lot of people that feel
But
bad.
that lady who had the restaurant, there was a GoFundMe. She got like 50 grand back. She got her money back.
She got like six figures back.
Oh, really? The one dude got like $4 million out of the settlement, I believe.
And Ja Rule got away fucking scot-free.
And that app you're talking about, Anthony, Ja Rule is now taking that app. It's called Icon, and he's a fucking piece of shit, just like Billy McFarland.
I loved that bit that they also had in the Hulu one of him on the podcast where it's a random podcast where the whole point is they just get drunk while interviewing him. And he's just like, it starts off with him being like, man, I didn't know about it. I was not involved in that aspect of it. And then like it's like an hour into the podcast and he's smashed. And he's like, yeah, man, it was my idea.
He's like, the whole thing was my idea.
I planned it. And he's like, and I mean, I'm doing this app now. It's like, it's different, but it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's great. Very telling. So good stuff. I got a voicemail, but it's not from who you think it is, Anthony.
My mom.
It's from Rug Boy's
Not
mom.
Maddie J. Miller. I heard he retired.
I believe possibly he retired. Rugs, do you really think he retired?
We're putting his number in the rafters.
Yeah, we're going to hang it up. I don't know what his number.
Slowly raise it.
I don't know what his number is, but it's going to be hanging up in my office here as the thing. Left Eye, Lisa Left Eye Lopez
Left
from
out,
TLC.
you fuck. Jesus Christ, you never pick up on the jokes.
No, I don't. I don't get it. Anyways, here's the voicemail.
Hey guys, this is Chaz. I had a question on the speak pipe for you. I was just wondering if you guys were watching Young Justice on the DC Universe app, if that was something you guys were planning on watching and reviewing. Also, Titans too. I couldn't remember if you guys said that you were going to finish Titans and review that. If you said you're not going to and I just missed it, tell me to fuck myself. That's fine. But yeah, if you guys are watching Young Justice, this new season's really enjoyable. Kind of wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it.
Whoa.
All right, first off, Chaz, fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah, we could say that.
We could say
I
that.
watched all the Titans, and I'm halfway through, or a little bit more than halfway through Young Justice.
Yeah.
I am not having a great time with it.
You're not?
No.
So there's 13 episodes out of Young Justice on the app. I've watched 8. I think I'm on episode 8, and I kind of like it.
The first 5 were just, nobody was in costume. They're spending way too much time with this fucking meta-human thing.
Trafficking.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
it
the
was
Justice League, like everyone
yeah.
retires, and
whoa.
I like some of the new characters they got and some of the training, and it's a little more adult. Like people are dying.
Yeah, I like that.
They've definitely stayed, and they've included like social media and texting things in the heads up displays, and it's
I
a
do
little
feel
more
like the
updated.
first 5 episodes are weak though.
Okay. Anthony hasn't seen any of Young Justice,
None
correct?
of it. No,
Yeah.
I maybe I'll watch it.
Delhauer, do you have this app?
Fuck no.
Okay, so Delhauer hasn't seen anything. Now, Titans, I've seen all of Titans.
Titans.
Ruggs has seen all of Titans.
Yes.
Anthony has not seen any of Titans, so what we could do, Ruggs, is maybe we review the Titans for the Patreons.
Sure.
Right? All right, there you go. Now that he brings up the DC Universe app, I got a press release. They had a little bit of announcement this week. There's more stuff coming. The DC Universe doubles its comic book offering starting January 29th. They are expanding to include series like Batman and Superman, Batman Hush, Gotham Central, Flashpoint, Infinite Crisis, Harley Quinn, Static Shock, Superman for all seasons, and Wonder Woman. There will be new weekly releases also to double their output. And in February, Doom Patrol will be starting February 15th. And the Reign of the Superman movie, Ruggs, is now on the DC Universe app.
Yeah.
So, and they also added 2 Batman shows. Remember these shows? The new Batman Adventures from the late 90s and then The Batman with Rhino Romano voicing the Dark Knight. Do you guys remember either of these shows? They're both pretty good.
What?
Which ones?
The new Batman Adventures. It was after Batman the Animated Series, and it was more of like a sleeker, simpler, stylized version of that animation.
I remember that.
You still had Batman in gray and black with the black bat, and then the Batman, they kind of rebooted it. It was more gadgety, and it was back to the gray and blue and the yellow in the bat symbol, and their faces were all pointy. Their eyes were more elongated.
Nope.
You don't remember it? That was a good show. So that ran from 2004 to 2008. New Batman Adventures, 1997, 1999.
Those were the times when I was out on comics.
You were doing actual stuff.
I was just
Delhauer, you haven't seen any of these?
Remember
these?
I'm going to admit I wasn't paying attention.
All right, well, that's a great reason to subscribe to the DC Universe app right there, because Delhauer wasn't paying attention. Subscribe now. So
I don't want to give him my money.
You guys, we were complaining about there's not enough comics. They're adding more comics. Does this help at all?
No.
No?
No, it's...
I mean, slightly, but not really enough. It's still like a shit app.
It's very negligible what they're doing. They should just put everything on. They should put all the comics on there.
But then what are they going to add? Like then
because you release comics weekly. What do you mean? What are you going to add?
Yeah.
Honestly, there's not enough content for them to have an app.
But then if they put the new shit out there, people aren't buying their fucking paper books.
It's similar to. I'll criticize something else. It's similar to like the UFC. The UFC has an app right now.
Okay.
They used to do live shows on it. They don't do anything on it now. All they do have right now is past fights and like original content. That's not worth having an app for either.
And that's a paid subscription basis.
And it's like $9.
So what about the WWE app? I heard that's pretty great, which like has like you said,
I heard that is actually really good.
It has every WrestleMania on there. Like that's awesome.
Actually, they have everything on there.
They have every pay-per-view of
that's amazing.
WWE, WCW. I don't know if ECW ever actually did pay-per-views, but it's any of the companies they own. They have all of the pay-per-views that have ever been out. They have plenty of their own like original content from documentary series for certain 30 for 30 type of things where they're talking to wrestlers or specific events and stuff like that. They also do their own like animated series, which is it's whatever.
But the big thing is they put they have live shows on there too, right?
The ones that they do, it's anytime
all their big pay-per-views.
Anytime a pay-per-view happens, you can watch it on the app live.
Wow. See, that's good. Do they have the cartoon from the 80s, the Saturday morning cartoon?
I don't know.
I would love to watch that.
The thing is,
again.
I don't currently have the app because after a while, I was like, I'm not really following this enough to be paying for it.
This guy I work with, he's a big WWE fan. He has the app and he loves it. He said it's amazing. And
I've heard nothing but good things after the initial launch of the app. I've heard nothing but good things.
No, and that's the thing is, it's not a thing where I would turn around and be like, oh, it's not worth it. It was just at the time I was like, I'm gonna put this money towards other things for now.
Well, DC Universe, you're putting out shit. Let's see if we can keep putting out more stuff until, I don't know, until you can't put out
Until
stuff.
I don't know.
Until you get more people paying for this. That's the show, gang. Delhauer, let's plug your shit. You put out a new episode of the Ginger Geek podcast. Holy shit.
Oh, shit.
And it was very good.
Thank you.
Tell everyone where they can find it.
The new episode can actually be found on just about all podcasting apps, as well as Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify. That's about all I can think of.
And that episode ties into our review.
It does. Episode 5 is talking about the first season of The Punisher and its ties to post-traumatic stress disorder.
There you go.
I love your essay style, bro. Keep it going. I can't wait to see it develop.
I've listened to probably more episodes of your show than I have ours. So
absolutely.
Well, thank you.
I agree. I think he's.
And funny enough was I actually started thinking now, because we do What the Fuck Happened Here and we base it specifically on comic book episodes.
Yes.
There are times where I'm wondering if I want to do the same sort of thing where I bring you guys on to Ginger Geek and we can broaden the spectrum of it, because this past couple of weeks, I have watched through all 4 of the Indiana Jones movies.
Okay.
And I have come to recognize that Temple of Doom is fucking awful.
What?
Oh,
really?
And I
Wow.
And here is why.
We'll get the students.
It was written by the team that wrote Howard the Duck.
Oh, snap.
Yowzers.
Wow, that's tying some things together. I fucking love Temple of Doom. I can't even begin
I like
to understand.
The third one the best.
I love Last Crusade. I love Raiders. It's the first time I've ever watched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, how did that go?
First half of that movie is actually a decent Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
The second half of that movie is a fucking mess.
It falls apart pretty quickly. Yeah. No, dude, Temple is just like I was a kid. I saw it in the theater. It was in my sweet spot to enjoy these movies.
The problem, I think, is that Temple of Doom tried to be a weirdly mystic James Bond movie instead of being what feels like an Indiana Jones movie.
The little puppet sets don't really hold up either.
No.
Now, when you watch it
It's
again.
also, it doesn't know if it wants to be a dark action adventure or if it wants to be a slapstick comedy.
Man, this would be a great subject for
don't
an
bring
episode
Imran
right
on
there.
your show, because your shows are like 20 minutes. He will immediately make it an hour and a half.
No, it's
Well,
gonna be
this
4
would
hours
be
show.
one if we're going to do something like a What the Fuck Happened, it will be a little longer.
Yeah, see, there you go. Rugs.
I just don't want Imran on your show.
Okay, fine. Anthony,
You
you're in.
guys can
Rugs,
do
you're
it.
in. Imran,
Thank
I'll
you.
talk to you another time.
Good luck
Good.
having Rug Boy show up if I'm not there. That's all.
That's fine. I'll handle.
All
I'll
right, so Anthony and I are going to bash on a bunch of Indiana Jones movies.
There you go. Rugs, where can they find you on the internets, and who have you pissed off? Anybody?
I've been trying to do stuff, but nothing's happening. I got Jason Kaplan from the Howard Stern Show to like my tweet.
Excellent.
Like,
that's something.
I'm on Twitter at ReallyRugBoy. So fucking come follow me, you dicks.
Delhauer, what's the Ginger Geek Twitter?
It is at the GNGR Geek Pod.
There you go.
They can also find me personally at MDelhauerVO.
Excellent. Look, and if you are shopping at Amazon, who doesn't shop at Amazon? Make sure you just type in jockandnerd.com/Amazon first and continue shopping. You'll be helping out the show in the background. Thank you very much for listening this week to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And we'll peep you next week. Peep, peep, peep.
Somebody touch my swagger!
Somebody touching my beat.
Jock and Nerd